It is 10 o'clock on a football Friday night. Jon Holder with you on High School Football Alabama after the game presented by the Calhoun County Commission. We have got all kinds of great football tonight, some blowouts, some close games, some upsets, region play beginning tonight in high school football across the state of Alabama. We will be with you for the next 2 hours, probably plus tonight, as we'll cover high school football all across the state of Alabama. Head coach of the Piedmont Bulldogs, Steve Smith, and their 20 senior players will be with us. The head coach of the Cleburne County Tigers, Coach Joby Burns, with us. We'll hear from the Calhoun County Quarterback Club's Danny Shears. He will be with us live. And we've got 26 Oxford cheerleaders. They just arrived here at the RMC Media Center at Parker Memorial Baptist Church in Anniston. Right now, though, final scores are pouring in. Let's go to the Oxford Lumber and Ace Hardware scoreboard and get you up to date on final scores from all across East Alabama tonight. We will have highlights of this game. As we said, the coach of the #1 ranked team in the state in Class 3A, the Piedmont Bulldogs, bouncing back after that loss to Cherokee County last week. They had their home opener, the official debut tonight of the new turf at Piedmont. It looked gorgeous. We were out there on it because we have highlights of that game coming. #1 Piedmont shutting down Sylvania 40-7, the final score tonight. Highlights of that game on the way. Also tonight, Raglan and Donahoe, the home opener for Donahoe. Their first two games have been on the road. Home opener up on 10th Street Mountain at Lynch Field tonight. Raglan picks up their first win as Coach Wes Tittle and the Purple Devils come in and they hand Donahoe their second consecutive loss. Raglan wins over Donahoe in a key game there in Class 1A tonight. That was 46-14, Raglan over Donahoe. Oxford will have highlights of this game coming tonight. The Yellow Jackets now have won 2 in a row. Oxford beating Shades Valley tonight in a key Class 6A Region 6 win at Lamar Field. Highlights coming. Oxford cheerleaders in the studio with us in just a few moments. Oxford beating Shades Valley tonight 45-13. Anniston Bulldogs, the #8 team in the state in Class 4A, traveling down to Munford tonight. This was a close game early on, but Anniston pouring it on in the second half. The Bulldogs remained undefeated. They're 3-0. Anniston a winner over Munford 55-7. The final score, getting ready for that big game between Anniston and Jacksonville next week at Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium. Still looking for a final on Sax and Beulah tonight, playing at Jack Stewart Field at Sax. Sax was up in this game big in the second half, 48-0. We should have a final score. Westbrook Christian tonight. Big game in Class 3A Region 6 at Jack Osborne Memorial Stadium in Rainbow City. Westbrook Christian now 2-0. They had an open date last week, and they got ready for Ohatchee. They beat the Indians tonight. Ohatchee remains winless. Westbrook Christian 35-13, an impressive win for the Warriors tonight as they are now 2-0 in their first year in Class 3A. Moody and Alexandria, a top 10 matchup in Class 5A tonight over down I-20 at Moody. #7 Moody, we've been telling you about the Blue Devils. They got it done again tonight. They're now 3-0. Alexandria falls to 0-2 as #7 Moody beats #9 Alexandria in 5A play 42-27. The Weaver Bearcats have opened the season with 3 consecutive wins, or should say 3 consecutive games at Bill Bryan Stadium at Weaver, but they've been 3 consecutive losses. Dadeville, very impressive again in Class 3A, as Dadeville, Class 3A Region 4, beats Weaver tonight, 39-6, the final score in that game. Jacksonville and Hanley late in the game. Back half of the fourth quarter, Hanley leading Jacksonville. High-scoring, wild game at Golden Eagle Stadium tonight in this top 5 matchup in 4A. It was Hanley leading Jacksonville 48-34 with about 5 minutes to go in the game. The last report we had, we should have a final score coming your way momentarily from Golden Eagle Stadium. Jacksonville Christian on the road in Rainsville tonight, taking on Cornerstone, a battle of undefeated teams. We should have a final score on that game coming from Rainsville momentarily. West End and Pleasant Valley. Pleasant Valley dropping to 2A, their first region game in Class 2A Region 6. It was Pleasant Valley's Jonathan Nix going back to his hometown at West End tonight in Waldo Grove. West End beats Pleasant Valley 41-20. Derek Sewell and the West End Patriots remaining undefeated at 3-0. They have had an injury delay in the Cleburne County Talladega game. They are just now really in the early parts of the fourth quarter because of that over at Ellie Bell Field in Heflin at the pit. Cleburne County is leading in this game big, 46-19 over Talladega. But to be honest with you, they're going to be past probably 10:30 before this game ends. As we said, there was a significant injury to a Talladega player, and they had a long delay in that game. But Cleburne County looks like they're going to win. Head coach Joby Burns will join us live here on After the Game coming up in just a few moments. Fayetteville and Ranburne, this is now a final score. Ranburne goes on the road to Farm Links Field in Fayetteville tonight. They beat the Wolves. Ranburne now 2-1. They've won 2 in a row. Ranburne 47, Fayetteville 12 the final. Also just down the road at Woodland, B.B. Comer coming on after that opening loss to Dadeville. The number 9 Tigers roll into Sewell Field at Woodland. They win tonight 48-3. B.B. Comer and Adam Fawcett. The Tigers are now 2-1, number 9 in Class 2A. Randolph County rolling. They won 36-0 last week at Woodland. They win tonight, the home opener down at Hewlin Humphrey Stadium in Wedowee. Randolph County beating Childersburg 36-7 in this first battle of Tigers ever between Randolph County and Childersburg. This is the upset of the night. Wadley, they were the number 2 team in the state at the end of last year in Class 1A. They were the state runner-up. Spring Garden was the number 2 team this year in the ASWA poll, but that did not matter. Wadley comes in and beats Spring Garden tonight at Jason Howard Field 9-0, shutting out the Garden tonight. We will have highlights of that game coming from Spring Garden just a little bit later on. Central of Clay County beating Tallahassee at Hot O'Brien Stadium in Tallahassee tonight. Central of Clay County wins it 21-6. By the way, this was 21-0. Tallahassee scored with 30 seconds left, according to our colleague Tommy Wood telling us about that. He was at the game tonight. Central of Clay County, an impressive win. That might wind up being the Class 5A Region 4 title game when all is said and done. Central wins it 21-6 tonight on the road at Tallahassee. A game moved to last night, playing down in Eclectic. Elmore County, surprisingly, this is one of the surprise teams in the state of Alabama in Class 5A Region 4. Elmore County beating Sylacauga last night 48-21 as the Panthers are now 3-0. Mississippi School for the Deaf and Alabama School for the Deaf were supposed to have played yesterday in Jackson, Mississippi. If you've been keeping up with the news, the water situation, they basically have no water. The water system is in terrible shape in Jackson, Mississippi. So this game has been canceled. They are going to play each other later on in the season in Talladega at Kiwanis Field. But the game last night in Mississippi canceled between Mississippi School for the Deaf and ASD. Talladega County Central in victory tonight, playing at TCC, still looking for a final in that game. Southside and Lincoln. Look at this impressive win by the Southside Crimson Panthers. Southside beats Lincoln tonight at Barney Hood Stadium in Southside, 45-7. What an impressive win by Miles Holcomb and the Crimson Panthers beating the Golden Bears tonight, 45-7 at Southside. No surprise here, number 1 in 6A, defending state champion, longest winning streak in the state, Clay Chalkville, shutting down Pell City tonight, 58-0 over at Clay. Leeds and Springville. This was a close game early on for most of the first half, but Leeds pulling away in the second half. The number 3 Greenway beating Springville 41-13. Up the road, up I-59 at Jim Glover Field in Attala, Etowah tonight bounces back after their loss to Fort Payne last week. Etowah a winner over Asheville, 42-0 the final in the Farmer Bowl this evening. Pisgah rolls up to Sandrock, and they beat Sandrock. Pisgah, the number 7 team in 2A, beating Sandrock tonight 41-14 as the Rock falls to 1-2. Cherokee County, our reigning Ted's Carpet and Floor Team of the Week. We'll show you all kinds of big, exciting things that happened in Center today. We were there for the pep rally. We'll show you a lot of that coming up on After the Game. Number 10, Cherokee County, no letdown whatsoever after their win over Piedmont last week. They beat Good Hope tonight 50-7, the final score at Warrior Stadium in Bobby Joe Johnson Field in Center tonight. Coosa Christian and Galesville, big game in Class 1A Region 7. Still looking for a final on that game from Gadsden tonight. Cedar Bluff has never lost ever to Woodville. 15 times they have played, and Cedar Bluff has won all 15, including tonight. Cedar Bluff goes to Woodville. They beat the Panthers 48-20, the final score. Gaston and Southeastern. This is the final score from out at Shinbone Ridge at Gaston. Southeastern watch out for the Mustangs. In Class 2A, they are now undefeated 2-0, and they beat the Gaston Bulldogs 41-14 tonight. Great football game. We got it 21-0, but that was actually 21-14. We don't want to discount the 14 points that Glencoe scored in this game. It was 14-0 Hoaks Bluff at the half. Glencoe had a big third quarter and actually tied the game 14-14 heading into the fourth quarter. But Hoaks Bluff put a fourth quarter drive together early in the fourth quarter, and they win the game. You see the corrected score there. They get the touchdown. The defense stood tall, and Hoaks Bluff in the 79th meeting between the Yellow Jackets and the Eagles. Hoaks Bluff gets the win 21-14. They've now beaten Glencoe 7 times in a row. They've met every year since 1944. Gadsden City and Buckhorn. Gadsden City was winning big in this game. Gadsden City was up, I think, 25-6 in the fourth quarter. This game is not over yet, still playing over at Titan Stadium in Gadsden. Huge game. This is a top 10 matchup in 1A tonight in Class 1A Region 7, playing at Valley Head this evening at Tiger Stadium. Number 9 Valley Head, a little bit of an upset here, putting it on Decatur Heritage, the number 5 team in 1A. Valley Head over Decatur Heritage, 57-35, the final score tonight from Valley Head as the Tigers remain undefeated. Gordo and Winfield, this is a top 10 matchup in Class 3A being played at Gordo, still looking for a final score in that game. And Central of Phoenix City and Enterprise also still looking for a final score in that game as well. That is our Oxford Lumber and Ace Hardware scoreboard. Let's tell you about all the different ways you can connect with us here at High School Football Alabama and after the game, including watching the show. A lot of folks want to know, how do we watch on Friday night? There's a couple of ways to do that. One, go to our Facebook page at High School Football Alabama. Also, go to our YouTube channel, High School Football Alabama. You can also go to our website. There's updated content there. Past programs are there, highschoolfootballalabama.com. Be sure to follow us. That's important. Follow us on our Facebook page, High School Football Alabama. Join the over 4,000 followers that we have. We're growing every day. You follow us, and you'll never miss some of the live updates like I did from Piedmont tonight. Also, go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to High School Football Alabama on YouTube. Search for After the Game. Very easy. After the Game, and you won't go very far, and you'll see High School Football Alabama, and you'll see our show coming up right there. We want to talk about the Calhoun County Commission. Of course, the County Commission is our sponsor of this show, and the Calhoun County Commission does a tremendous job of supporting high school athletics, especially here, obviously, in Calhoun County with the Calhoun County Schools and many others as well. You see the commissioners there from District 1, Fred Wilson. District 2, Danny Shears. He'll join us tonight to talk about the commission and the Calhoun County Quarterback Club. Also, Carolyn Henderson from District 3, J.D. Hess District 4, and District 5, Lee Patterson. All of those folks are great supporters of high schools and high school athletics. The Calhoun County Commission bringing you High School Football Alabama's After the Game. When we come back, scores, highlights, cheerleaders, players, coaches, as we roll toward 12 midnight here on After the Game on Facebook and YouTube.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You will be glad you did.
In Alabama, school spirit is in the air on Friday nights. At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're giving our customers the opportunity to show their school spirit every day with our new Spirit debit card. We've designed a unique card for every Calhoun County school that includes the school's logo. So every time you use the card, you're showing your school spirit. Come in and get your school spirit debit card today. We've got spirit at F&M Bank. Service, solutions, and strength. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
As a social worker, my cousin devotes her career to helping others. But when she was diagnosed with cancer, she was the one who needed help. She needed a hospital with an accredited cancer program and the latest in technology and care options. Plus, a compassionate team of doctors, nurses, and counselors with treatments that fit her schedule. So where did she find all that?
Right here at RMC.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at peeweeturnermotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
Anniston Orthopedics continues to provide a legacy of outstanding sports injury care on and off the field, keeping our players in the game. Anniston Orthopedics offers our Saturday morning sports injury clinic from 8 to 10 a.m. throughout the high school football season. Anniston Orthopedics also offers full-service physical therapy and occupational therapy departments. To learn more, visit our website at www.annistonortho.com. Anniston Orthopedics, located in the Tyler Center adjacent to RMC.
We are back on After the Game. High school football, Alabama. Jon Holder with you on Football Friday Night, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. We're going to start running through highlights. We've got cheerleaders and a whole lot more standing by as we roll on to this Football Friday Night. For the 79th time this year, Glencoe and Hoaks Bluff playing each other. Tonight it was Wilson-Darnell Stadium at Glencoe. The first taste of the Hoaks Bluff-Glencoe rivalry for new Glencoe head coach Scott Martin. For Coach Mike Robertson, this was his 27th Glencoe Hoaks Bluff game. He's been a part of a lot more, but as the head coach, this was his 27th. And this was the 7th victory in a row for the Hoaks Bluff Eagles over Glencoe. It was not easy tonight. It was 14-0 Hoaks Bluff at halftime. Third quarter, it was all Glencoe. Glencoe comes out and scores 14 points. They go to the fourth, tied at 14. And then it was Hoaks Bluff putting together a drive, as we said, early in the fourth quarter. And they made that stand up. They put a drive together, scored a touchdown. They're up 21-14, and they win it by a score of 21-14. So at this time, we're going to bring in Coach Michael Short and Gerhard Mathangani with us. And guys, Hoaks Bluff, Glencoe, you just say that around here. I mean, we start talking about big rivalries, and that is one of the biggest rivalries. And tonight, it lived up to the billing. A great game tonight.
Yeah, certainly so, and these are two great Etowah County rivals, and it's great to now see them playing in the same region. And obviously, they try to get this game in, either way. There's times when Hoaks Bluff was in 4A, they still try to get this game in. Two great Etowah County rivals, and Coach, I know there's one of those things where it's a rivalry aspect that brings one part of the heated atmosphere, but the fact that it's a region game adds to it.
Well, now that you put them both in the same region, it just adds to the fire.
Right.
You're adding fuel to the fire.
Exactly.
And, they touch each other. City limits touch each other. Mm-hmm. So a lot of those guys know each other, work together, kids play together. So that makes it interesting. That was an unbelievable game, because I know a lot of people probably thought that game may could get out of hand. I never did, because you can't ever take a Scott Martin team and put it out of hand, or Coach Rob. That's just what he does. So to me, it should have been a very close ball game.
One of the better games of the night, Gerhard.
Yeah.
You've got the highlights. We were there tonight at Wilson-Darnell Stadium at Glencoe. Take us to the highlights.
That's exactly right. Let's go over to Etowah County. Our Bailey Morris is out there.
Are you ready for
got some
football?
great shots from Wilson-Darnell Stadium. Here we go. Hoaks Bluff and Glencoe. Glencoe starts off with the football after a few snaps here. The snap goes over the quarterback's head. They punt from their own end zone. And here's the punt right here, out of their own end zone. Gets a nice boot on it. And he returns it back the other way. Gets a really, really solid return here for Hoaks Bluff. The Eagles, there's Connor Masters handing off to Noah Sprayberry. He picks up the first down on a tough run there. Very next play, it's Masters, Sprayberry, that duo once again. And this time they go into the end zone for the touchdown. First points of the game. Eagles take an early 7-0 lead after the PAT was good. Next up, Glencoe with the football, ensuing possession. This is Noah Fairley, battles for a first down here. A few plays later, it is Fairley once again. He hands off to Wade Segrest. And Segrest, a nice tough run here. However, Hoaks Bluff defense, they would hold here. This is 4th and goal. It's a turnover on downs. Every coach loves to see that, holding them out of the end zone. That defense all kinds of fired up. And that's where we left it, as Hoaks Bluff had a 7-0 lead in this one. And John, you mentioned it earlier that this was a really tough ball game. Those highlights showed it. And the fact that Glencoe kept fighting in this one really shows their heart. But it's Hoaks Bluff that ends up on top here.
And Hoaks Bluff going to start off 1-0 in region play. I think after watching some of the scores tonight, I think, again, no surprise here as we take a look at Class 3A Region 4 and kind of go in 3A Region 6, as everybody kind of goes in depth on that. It's everybody chasing the Piedmont Bulldogs.
Right.
Even despite the loss last week, you saw the sports writers across the state. They kept Piedmont at number 1,
right.
And Piedmont showed why tonight. I think right now it's Piedmont right here, and kind of everybody else is chasing the Bulldogs right now.
Yeah, and it's one of the things where I think that they got the respect. They've always had the respect of the pollsters, and we saw some other teams get some first place votes, but Piedmont still got the overwhelming number of them to stay on top there of the Class 3A standings. A really solid ball game last week against Cherokee County, a team that looks really good in the early stages of this season. But I'll tell you what, Coach, I think it's one of the things where that Piedmont does have that, I think, a monster lead in this region, both from perception and on the field. But at the same time, I think these other teams are starting to get better. We've seen the improvement with Glencoe. We saw it tonight. We saw it last week. We've seen the improvements with Hoaks Bluff after losing their first game to Southside. I see all the other teams still chasing Piedmont, but getting better.
Well, the first thing you see is Piedmont and 20 seniors. I mean,
Right.
you got 20 seniors on a 3A squad.
Right.
I mean, that's phenomenal. You can't, the experience that they have, no other team has that kind of experience,
Right.
In a playoff experience. And you got it, undoubtedly tonight, Coach Smith really took this whole week and found out what didn't work for us last week.
Exactly.
Where do we need to get better at? And undoubtedly they figured that out, because we'll talk later about some stats, but there was even some school records broke tonight at Piedmont.
Yeah, and Coach Smith and those 20 seniors you mentioned, Coach, they will join us live here after the game, coming down from Piedmont after the game tonight. I don't know if we've got that graphic ready or not, but as we jump down into Class 3A Region 6 and kind of look at the standings tonight, there was a little bit of surprises. Maybe Geraldine tonight was maybe a bit of a surprise in how they handled Plainview. This is a region, as we take a look at that region, you'll see that, we talked about splitting the regions. We'll talk about that with Coach Smith coming up. But, basically you had Piedmont and Glencoe and Hoaks Bluff and Ohatchee. They split off from the South teams, Weaver and Welborn and Sachs. They added Westbrook Christian moving up from 2A, and then the 3 DeKalb County teams, Plainview, Sylvania, and Geraldine. And so basically you've got Geraldine tonight. They were winners over Plainview. Hoaks Bluff beat Glencoe, and also you got Piedmont was that winner over Sylvania tonight. Westbrook beat Ohatchee. So there's the region standings, guys. Let's talk about it.
You don't need to cut out. I mean, people will probably think when it comes to Glencoe, but because of the leadership of Scott Martin, I can see them having a good opportunity to get in playoffs.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. They've got a chance.
Right.
It won't be one, but they're not chasing Piedmont. You're just trying to get in. In year one, you're just trying to get in and develop your culture. And I can see Glencoe getting in the playoffs.
I can too. I can see that I think the battle for that 3rd and 4th spot will be really competitive this year. And Coach Martin has talked about this, that yes, that region got busted up, the Region 5, sometimes Region 6, depending on how the AHSAA designed the regions. However, they added teams that made the playoffs last year. So I think it's going to be really competitive, not necessarily for one. I think Piedmont's still in the driver's seat there. And I think 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think the margins between those will be really small. So to get into the playoffs, I think Glencoe's right there among those teams that can fight their way in. I think that the margins are razor thin.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to talk a lot more about this region tonight. We got some more highlights coming from that region. Obviously, Piedmont will be with us. It's going to be a competitive region. I'll tell you this right now. You better look out for Westbrook Christian. Coach Drew Knowles thinks this might be one of the better teams they've had, and they have been very impressive these first 2 weeks, including tonight against Ohatchee. The muscle team, our Grub Mart muscle team, this has really taken off, and I can't wait until you get to see the shirts that we are giving to our muscle team members this year. Remember, we're changing this. Instead of a top offensive and a top defensive player, we're giving this to an entire offensive or defensive line. And this week it was even a little bit different because our muscle team this week, the Pleasant Valley Raider offensive line, and you're going to see 9 guys right here. But that's because Coach Jonathan Nix was telling me last week in that win against Donahoe, all 9 of these guys had significant playing time. They rushed for over 368 yards, gave up no sacks against Donahoe in that 34-15 win last Friday night. Offensive linemen include Zane Cash. This is going left to right across your screen here. Zane Cash, Connor Crump, Jeremiah Jones, Jackson Rose, Gray Knight, Austin English, Antonio Gaddis, Will Walker, and Connor George. Each one of those guys going to receive a Grub Mart Muscle Team t-shirt courtesy of Young Oil Grub Mart. And speaking of Young Oil Grub Mart, listen, it's college football tomorrow. If you're going to Jack State, Grub Mart's the place to go before the game. Jack State and Davidson, 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. They've got that 99-cent bag of ice, quality fuel. They got the Oleo donuts there. And if you bring the popcorn bucket in, let's say you had a popcorn bucket last year, bring it in this year, and they're going to refill it for you for free. It's a place to go before the game. And there's not only the location there in Jacksonville on Mountain Street, but also locations all throughout East Alabama, north to south, Cherokee County to Lee County. Grub Mart bringing you the Muscle Team in 2022. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Danny Shears from the Calhoun County Quarterback Club. Also, we got some Oxford cheerleaders in the studio. That and a whole lot more. We're just getting started on After the Game on Facebook and YouTube, presented by the Calhoun County Commission.
Are you ready for some football? Come in all month long and take a test drive at Team 1 Chevrolet and have a chance to win an Alabama, Auburn tailgate, or the ultimate tailgate package. Log on to ChevroletofGadsden.com for complete details. Chevrolet of Gadsden, where everyone's a winner. Someone's going to win an Alabama tailgate, someone's going to win an Auburn tailgate, and somebody's going to win the ultimate grand prize, including grill, generator, and big screen TV. Chevrolet of Gadsden, home of the best people, the best service, period.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Cash back. Plain and simple. That's what you'll get on the Noble Bank Cash Back account. No tricks, no gimmicky names. Just free accounts that pay you cash back. If unlimited transactions, fraud protection, and refunds on ATM withdrawal fees nationwide sounds like your kind of banking, visit us at noblebank.com and learn more about the Noble Cash Back account. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank and Trust. Noblebank.com. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Jimmy Newman from Oxford Lumber. I've kicked off many times in my football days, and that's an exciting play. When you're ready to kick off your next building or remodeling project, let us make sure you start your project off right, with the right material at the right price so you can score big and get the job done. Stop by and see our local guys with over 60 years of experience serving you. Come by any one of our 4 locations in Oxford, Talladega, Jacksonville, or Roanoke. And don't forget about our low price guarantee.
Your home is a reflection of you, whether that's classic, farm style, or something unique. We at Ted's Carpet and Floor understand that, and we'll help you through the selection, finance, and installation process. We have an extensive selection of designer tiles, carpet, laminate, and hardwood. Let us help you choose the perfect granite or quartz to customize your kitchen or bathroom. We offer free in-home measurements, estimates, and design consultation. Ted's Carpet and Floor, your style, our passion.
Here we go, Jackets, here we go. 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 Here we go.
That's the Oxford High School cheerleaders with us tonight. We promised you 26 Oxford cheerleaders, and we're going to deliver on that number tonight. That's just half of the ladies. We're going to see the other half. They're going to switch out. We're going to bring you more Oxford cheerleaders in just a few moments here on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Time to run through all the scores now. The Oxford Lumber and Ace Hardware scoreboard. Let's go back to that. We'll give you all the final scores that we have, and I think we've got just about all of those. So let's go run through the scores once again as we go back to the Oxford Lumber and Ace Hardware scoreboard and run through all the scores in East Alabama. Piedmont Bulldogs, they are on the way Coach Steve Smith and the senior Bulldogs will be live with us in the studio in just a moment. Number 1 Piedmont beating Sylvania tonight 40-7. Highlights of that game coming here on After the Game. Also tonight, Raglan beating Donahoe up at Lynchfield at Donahoe. First win for Raglan. They beat Donahoe tonight 46-14, the final score. Also this evening, you talk about the Oxford Yellow Jackets. Oxford wins the game tonight, Anniston beat Munford 55-7. I think we've got the Oxford score on there tonight. Oxford beating Shades Valley 45-13, if we can go back to that one. Oxford over Shades Valley 45-13 was the final score as Oxford wins tonight to go to 2-1. Anniston, you saw the score just briefly. The number 8 Bulldogs in Class 4A, they beat the Munford Lions tonight down at Munford 55-7. Sax and Beulah, this is now a final. Sax wins tonight as they go to 2-1 as the Wildcats beat the Beulah Bobcats tonight. Cat fight out at Jack Stewart Field. Sax wins the game 48-6. We talked about Westbrook Christian. They beat Ohatchee tonight at Jack Osborne Memorial Stadium in Ohatchee. 35-13 the final score. Also tonight, big top 10 matchup down I-20 at Moody tonight in Class 5A Region 6. Number 7 Moody remains undefeated. They beat number 9 Alexandria 42-27 the final score in that game. Dadeville and Weaver out at Bill Bryan Stadium at Weaver. Third home game in a row for the Bearcats, but they are 0-3. Dadeville comes in. The Tigers undefeated. They beat Weaver tonight 39-6 the final score. Crazy, wild game, and this is now finally a final from Golden Eagle Stadium in Jacksonville. Not much defense tonight. Number 2 Hanley in Class 4A Region 4 play beating number 4 Jacksonville. Hanley 54, Jacksonville 41. The final score tonight in a game where there was 95 points scored in that game tonight up in Jacksonville. Jacksonville Christian, a little bit of an upset. JCA goes on the road to Rainsville tonight and they beat Cornerstone 44-40. JCA and Tommy Miller are now 3-0 in 8-man football as they beat Cornerstone tonight 44-40 in Rainsville. West End knocks out the Pleasant Valley Raiders tonight over in Walnut Grove. 41-20 the final score in that game. Also tonight, we're talking about Cleburne County and Talladega. This game just ended. Cleburne County head coach Joby Burns on his way to be with us tonight. Cleburne County beats Talladega, first win of the year for the Heflin Tigers as they beat the Talladega Tigers tonight at Ellie Bell Field in Heflin, 63-23 the final score. Ranburne tonight wins at Farm Links Field in Fayetteville. They beat the Wolves 47-20 as Ranburne goes to 2-1 on the year. B.B. Comer, watch out for the Tigers. I think they got a wake-up call when they went over to Dadeville in week 1, but now they have bounced back very nicely the last 2 weeks. Randolph County, I should say there it is right there. B.B. Comer tonight beating Woodland 48-3, and Randolph County tonight beating Childersburg 36-7 tonight as Randolph County goes to 2-0. Maybe we can go back to that B.B. Comer Woodland score as B.B. Comer beats Woodland 48-3. Spring Garden and Wadley tonight. Spring Garden, the number 2 team in Class 1A. Wadley comes in. They shut out the Panthers tonight 9-0. We'll have highlights of that game from Jason Howard Field at Spring Garden. Central of Clay County beats Tallahassee tonight at Hot O'Brien Stadium in Tallahassee, 21-6 the final. Last night, Elmore County beating Sylacauga down in Eclectic, 48-21. Mississippi School for the Deaf and ASD, that game canceled in Jackson, Mississippi yesterday. They will play later on this season in Talladega at Kiwanis Field in October. Talladega County Central and Victory Christian still looking for a final on that game from Howell Cove tonight. Southside, really impressive. Maybe the most impressive win of the season tonight. Southside over Lincoln, 45-7. The final score in that game tonight is, I think we'll have that score up for you shortly. Clay Chalkville beats Pell City 58-0 the final. Leeds tonight beats Springville 41-13. Leads the number 3 team in the state in 5A as they beat Springville 41-13. Etowah shutting out Asheville 42-0. Pisgah tonight, a winner over Sandrock. Pisgah number 7 in 2A. They roll up to the Rock and they roll the Rock tonight 41-14. Cherokee County, our reigning Ted's Carpet and Floor Team of the Week. We'll show you highlights of their pep rally today. Number 10 team in 4A, Center tonight beating Good Hope 50-7 over at Bobby Joe Johnson Field. Still looking for a final on Coosa Christian in Galesville, playing tonight in Gadsden at Coosa. Cedar Bluff beats Woodville for the 15th time. 48-20 tonight up in Jackson County at Woodville. Southeastern comes into Shinbone Ridge. They beat the Gaston Bulldogs 41-14 the final. Hoaks Bluff and Glencoe, we saw highlights of that game earlier. Hoaks Bluff a winner in that game as they win the game over Glencoe by a score of 21-14. Gadsden City and Buckhorn still looking for a final score in that game. Gadsden City beating Buckhorn 25-6. Valley Head tonight, a top 10 matchup in Class 1A at Valley Head. The Tigers beating Decatur Heritage by a score of 57-35 the final in that game. Also Gordo and Winfield, a top 10 matchup in 3A at Gordo. Gordo beats Winfield. High scoring game tonight again, over 90 points scored as Gordo wins it 49-42. And Central Phoenix City tonight, number 1 in the state in Class 7A, beating number 9 Enterprise by a score of 27-7. We mentioned our Ted's Carpet and Floor Team of the Week from last week, the Cherokee County Warriors. We were in center today along with all the folks from Ted's Carpet and Floor to award our Awards to Remember Tough Guy trophy. We also had t-shirts in black and gold in the center colors to present to every member of the team from Ted's Carpet and Floor. And then you see our great Anniston Orthopedics score shirts. Those are coveted items, not only because it says Team of the Week on the front, but on the back, as you'll see me show the fans up in center, it has the score of the game. And they loved when I announced that Cherokee County 21, Piedmont 14. Coming up around 12 midnight tonight, we will have our Week 3 Ted's Carpet and Floor Team of the Week announcements. We'll find out who's getting the Anniston Orthopedic score shirts coming up tonight. There's my personal cheerleaders, by the way, that I have from Ted's Carpet and Floor. Well, I just found out that there they are cheering, and they're cheering for the Cherokee County Warriors and cheering for me. That's my personal cheerleaders tonight from up there in Cherokee County this evening. Let's talk about Team 1 Automotive. Team 1, a new sponsor here on After the Game. Kevin Riggin and the folks over at Team 1 Automotive in Gadsden on East Meagan Boulevard. Great supporters of high school athletics. Let me tell you what they have going on this year at Team 1 Automotive this fall. They are having a huge tailgate package. You take a test drive and you could win an Alabama or Auburn tailgate package ready for game day. And then they have a grand prize. That is a grill, a generator, and a big screen TV. Go to Chevrolet of Gadsden for complete details or drop by Team 1 Chevy on East Meagan Boulevard in East Gadsden, where everyone is a winner. We promised you more Oxford High School cheerleaders. The Yellow Jackets are happy tonight. They had a big win over Shades Valley at Lamar Field. You saw the first half of the Yellow Jacket cheerleaders. Now here's more, even more. Double your money on the Oxford Yellow Jacket cheerleaders. Ladies, take it away.
Go Jackets, fight! Jackets, go! Go! Go Jackets, fight! Jackets, go! Go! Go Jackets, fight! Jackets, go! 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 Here we go, Jackets!
Anniston Orthopedics continues to provide a legacy of outstanding sports injury care on and off the field, keeping our players in the game. Anniston Orthopedics offers our Saturday morning sports injury clinic from 8 to 10 a.m. throughout the high school football season. Anniston Orthopedics also offers full-service physical therapy and occupational therapy departments. To learn more, visit our website at www.annistonortho.com. Anniston Orthopedics, located in the Tyler Center adjacent to RMC.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
There's a lot to think about when you're having a baby. Colors of the nursery, names, and most importantly, where to deliver.
We want a hospital that gives families a more personalized birthing experience.
With a compassionate team of doctors and nurses, and a hospital where my baby and I can instantly bond with all the comforts of home.
So where do we find all that?
Right here at RMC, the first designated baby-friendly hospital in Alabama.
Cash back. Plain and simple. That's what you'll get on the Noble Bank Cash Back account. No tricks, no gimmicky names. just free accounts that pay you cash back. If unlimited transactions, fraud protection, and refunds on ATM withdrawal fees nationwide sounds like your kind of banking, visit us at noblebank.com and learn more about the Noble Cashback account. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank and Trust. noblebank.com, member FDIC.
Hi, this is Jimmy Newman from Oxford Lumber. I've kicked off many times in my football days, and that's an exciting play. When you're ready to kick off your next building or remodeling project, let us make sure you start your project off right, with the right material at the right price so you can score big and get the job done. Stop by and see our local guys with over 60 years of experience serving you. Come by any one of our 4 locations in Oxford, Talladega, Jacksonville, or Roanoke. And don't forget about our low price guarantee.
And we are back on After the Game, and we have been promising for the last couple of weeks that we are going to begin the fan voting for our Farmers and Merchants Bank Spirit Scholarship. We're giving $3,000 away in scholarship money courtesy of Farmers and Merchants Bank, and we're going to begin with our first round of voting, which will be tonight beginning at 12 midnight. It will last through next Friday at 12 noon. 2 schools that we'll begin with. There are going to be 15 schools. You see those 15 schools listed on the screen. It's every school in Calhoun County plus Spring Garden. We're beginning tonight with Jacksonville High School and Spring Garden High School. From Jacksonville, there will be 2 ladies that you can vote for. Caitlin Clark, volleyball player with a 3.88 GPA. Also, the other female contestant from Jacksonville High School is Robin Thomas. She is also a volleyball player with a 3.32 GPA, so you can vote for one of those to move to our next round. Then as we take a look at our male athletes here, we have John Broom off that state championship basketball team at Jacksonville, a 3.38 GPA, and also we have Mason Terrell. Mason's the place kicker, football player, and soccer player with a perfect 4.0 GPA. All you have to do is go to our Facebook page, High School Football Alabama, and you just click on the picture if you want to vote for these 4 athletes from Jacksonville High School: Caitlin Clark, John Broom, Robin Thomas, Mason Terrell. Also in the voting this week, beginning at midnight tonight through next Friday at 12 noon, we have 4 student athletes from Spring Garden High School. The female athletes are volleyball player Aubrey Sadler, who has a 90.1 GPA, and also we have Kaylee Kirk from Spring Garden with an 88.03 average. She is a softball and basketball player. Aubrey Sadler, of course, a volleyball player. And then on the male side of things, we have Cam Welch. Saw him playing some football tonight out at the Garden. He is a 3-sport athlete: football, baseball, and basketball, with a 94.4 GPA. When I was at Spring Garden, I don't think I had that GPA. And then Matthias Williams, football player, starting offensive lineman, captain on the team, an 83.3 GPA as well. Again, Spring Garden folks, beginning at midnight tonight. You can go all the way through next Friday at 12 noon and vote for your favorite athlete. On the female side, Aubrey Sadler or Kaylee Kirk. On the male side, Cam Welch and Matthias Williams. We will have voting going on in I guess we call this the primaries, all the way through October, and then we'll narrow it down. Our top 30 will receive $50 gift cards courtesy of Farmers and Merchants Bank, and our top male athlete and top female athlete, voted by you on Facebook at High School Football Alabama, each will receive a $1,500 scholarship. F&M Bank, great supporters of high school athletics here in East Alabama. Another group that's great supporters of high school athletics, especially football, is the Calhoun County Quarterback Club. Danny Shears joins us from the Quarterback Club, also with the Calhoun County Commission. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But the Calhoun County Quarterback Club, for decades, Danny, has been doing great work supporting football and specifically students and coaches here in the county.
This is our 76th year, and last year we had the diamond anniversary, and it went well. And coming out of, the pandemic we've been in, we held the last 2 years. Our membership went down a little bit, as you would expect, but we held things together. And this year we're looking really to get back to our max number of members is around 125, 128. But we put together a fantastic lineup this year for the Quarterback Club. And
one of the ways you raise money, you give scholarships as well. I want to talk about, we talked about the scholarship with Farmers and Merchants Bank giving, but you give scholarships as well. And one of the ways that you raise money for that is through membership. And membership is the big meetings that you have. First, talk about the scholarship, and then we're going to run through and show folks this impressive lineup of speakers you have coming.
Well, for the last probably 25 years, we've been able to give or award 3 $5,000 scholarships each spring, and it's a very tough competition. Each school submits one applicant from the county within our county here, and we also include Heflin, Cleburne County High School with that, and the board gets together, and it's very tough because we have some very deserving young men that are not only performers on the field, but they do extracurricular, they volunteer, they may work a job, and so we look at need, we look at other things, extracurricular activities, and so we are very proud to say as a quarterback club, we give $15,000 a year in scholarships.
And to be able to raise that money, one of the ways you raise that is you have, during football season, you have on Monday nights at the Anniston Country Club, you have a nice dinner with great guest speakers that come right here live and in person to Anniston, Alabama to speak. We're going to look at that lineup that you've got coming up. This begins not this Monday because it's Labor Day,
right?
But the next Monday coming up, you kick it off and look at this lineup. Tell us, Danny, about who all you got coming here.
Well, we're very proud, as I said, to have another fantastic lineup of people that you would never get to go hear, listen, speak. We start things off with Andy Burcham. He's the lead play-by-play guy for Auburn Radio Network. Dari Noka from SEC Network. Cole Kublick, he's got a radio station out of Birmingham, but he's also, you see him on TV every weekend on ESPN and SEC Network. Coach Rich Rod from JSU will come and speak with us on October 3rd. Barrett Jones and Alyssa Lang, both with ESPN and SEC Network. Jay Batt, he's the Assistant Athletic Director at the University of Alabama. And we end our season with Matt Schaub, a 17-year veteran NFL quarterback. So we're very pleased with the wonderful lineup that we've got. And this is one of the best deals in town, John. For $250, that covers all 8 meetings, which is about $31 a night. And for that, you get dinner, you get a social hour, you can have an adult beverage if you want it. You get these speakers that come in, all for $31. You can't hardly go out and have a meal for that.
And I could attest, and you can too, I can tell you this from just being up there at Media Day, the Anniston Country Club is going to put out a phenomenal meal, and then you also have the knowledge that you're helping fund these scholarships as well.
That's a big part of it. That's why we can keep doing what we do, is through these memberships. And for a long time, people always thought, well, I'm not a member of the country club, maybe I can't join. It's open to anybody that loves high school football. Not only do we have these speakers, but we also each week have either 1 or 2 local high school coaches come and bring a player of the week of their choice. And then we get to recognize them. They get to brag on that player. We give them a nice plaque. So if you like football, high school, college, you need to be in the quarterback club.
During the course of the year, you'll have every school in Calhoun County will be in there with the head coach and a couple of players, right?
That's correct. And you get to hear these coaches. Some of the stories they say about these young men are fantastic young men. And, maybe helping mom out by taking another job and trying to work and play sports. But it's lots of fun. It gives you something on Monday morning when you wake up to. Normally you hate getting out of bed and going to work, but you say, hey, wait a minute, we've got quarterback club meeting tonight. It's only 8 Mondays, so it goes by that quick. But it's a way that you can support these high school scholarships that we award and have fun on Monday evening. So I would ask anybody that's listening or watching to give me a call or give me a text. I can send you one of our nice brochures we got in the mail. You can look at it, and we'd love for people to join.
And we're going to that end, we're going to give you some information now that we're going to put up on the screen for folks. So get your phone out or take a picture of this, or you can go and maybe write this down, whatever you want to do. The Quarterback Club of Calhoun County. For membership information, call or text Danny Shears. You just heard him. He'd love to hear from you. 256-225-1000 is the number to call. And as you said, it's open to anybody. So if you want to be a part of that, not too late for you to be involved this year and come and be a part of the Quarterback Club on Monday nights at the Anniston Country Club. We want to shift gears here because this year, after the game, being sponsored by the Calhoun County Commission,
right.
And that's, to me, it just exemplifies the support for high school students and coaches and communities. That's what this show is about, is spotlighting those, just like we had the Oxford
right.
cheerleaders on. We got some Piedmont folks about to come in here and a whole lot more. The county commission, though, a long history. You've been involved for the last several years with the county commission, but there's a long history of the county commission supporting our local schools.
Well, the other commissioners agree with me. There's nothing better you can support in your community than your older folks and your students and your kids. And this is a way that we can do that by supporting Jon Holder and everything you do. We feel like it's first class. And so before the season, we talked and we said that's something we want to be a part of after the game. And again, we have great schools in Calhoun County. And this is just a small way that the commission can give back some of the tax dollars and say, you know what, we want to support this show and these young people in this county.
Absolutely. And we have players, we have coaches, we have cheerleaders on this show. We have folks in the community like you passing along good information, and we're going to keep doing that, and we can able to keep doing that because of the Calhoun County Commission and the fine work that you do. Also, thank you for the fine work again that you and all the guys do with the Calhoun County Quarterback Club. To that end, coming up in just a couple of moments here on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission, we're going to talk Piedmont High School football, the #1 ranked team in the state. The head coach, Steve Smith, and the Bulldogs are in the house here on High School Football Alabama After the Game. Live tonight all the way until probably midnight, probably after midnight here on YouTube and Facebook. Back in just a moment.
Hi, this is Jimmy Newman from Oxford Lumber. I've kicked off many times in my football days, and that's an exciting play. When you're ready to kick off your next building or remodeling project, let us make sure you start your project off right, with the right material at the right price so you can score big and get the job done. Stop by and see our local guys with over 60 years of experience serving you. Come by any one of our 4 locations in Oxford, Talladega, Jacksonville, Roanoke, and don't forget about our low price guarantee.
In Alabama, school spirit is in the air on Friday nights. At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're giving our customers the opportunity to show their school spirit every day with our new Spirit debit card. We've designed a unique card for every Calhoun County school that includes the school's logo. So every time you use the card, you're showing your school spirit. Come in and get your school spirit debit card today. We've got spirit at F&M Bank. Service, solutions, and strength. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
I can't imagine life without Glenn, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Glenn's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today. Anniston Orthopedics continues to provide a legacy of outstanding sports injury care on and off the field, keeping our players in the game. Anniston Orthopedics offers our Saturday morning sports injury clinic from 8 to 10 a.m. throughout the high school football season. Anniston Orthopedics also offers full-service physical therapy and occupational therapy departments. To learn more, visit our website at www.annistonortho.com. Anniston Orthopedics, located in the Tyler Center adjacent to RMC.
It is High School Football Alabama After the Game on a football Friday night, rolling on our entire hard-working After the Game crew with you. We're coming to you tonight live from the RMC Media Center at Parker Memorial Baptist Church, Midtown Anniston on Quintard Avenue. Time now for our Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser now as we welcome in the head coach of the Piedmont High School Bulldogs, Coach Steve Smith. Also welcoming back in Gerhard Mathangani and also the coach Michael Short. Men, let's talk some 3A football tonight. Coach, welcome in. Glad to have you. Congratulations first and foremost on the big win tonight. I was there for part of that game. You were up 27-0 at halftime on a good Sylvania team, a team that you were familiar with last year from the playoffs going up there. You win the game big tonight, Coach. Just your impressions of the game tonight with Sylvania.
I'm happy coach tonight, John. You know, we didn't get off to a great start last week, and you know, our guys, we really challenged them this week to see if we wanted to, you know, lay around and continue to dwell in our sorrows, or if we wanted to get it right. And the guys had an outstanding week of preparation. I'm proud of our coaches for getting them ready to play. And And our kids went out and executed tonight and played really, really well. I was real proud of them, both sides of the ball, special teams. Just a great all-around team effort.
We're going to talk about that in just a minute. We got some highlights to show. Gerhard, take us through highlights tonight from the Field of Champions at Piedmont. Some second quarter highlights, including what I think is vintage Piedmont, and that's scoring right before halftime on folks. We'll talk about that in a moment.
That's exactly right, John. We go to the Field of Champions, and of course the Field of Champions, you have to display all the championships. All of them right there. A nice little display out there at Piedmont hosting Sylvania today. Coach, close your eyes for this one because we're going to show a play that ends up coming back. This is Cody Holloway. I see my man right here. Runs it down all the way to the 1 yard line, but this one would end up coming back for the Bulldogs. However, they go right back to my man number 8, Holloway, on the run here. Takes it 13 yards down the end, and big pickup here for the Bulldogs. Very next play, Jack Hayes. It's Ishmael Bethel, 12-yard touchdown pass, one of a bunch today. We will get a lot of those. For you, 27-0 as we left in that one, and they ended up winning in the game today. So that is your highlights there from Piedmont High School, and their final score right there is 40-7 as Piedmont goes and gets the win today over the Rams. John,
Piedmont wins it 40-7 as we dive into the game tonight. One of the things Piedmont is known for. I think through the years you've been known, even in state championship games, for winning close games, for winning games at the very end. But one of the things I think is overlooked through the years, Coach, that I've noticed is you do a lot of damage to teams right before halftime. You did it again tonight. You kind of put a dagger in folks at the half. Just tell us about, because I don't think people really notice that, though. So much emphasis gets put on what you do at the end of games to win it, rightfully so. But you guys do a great job at scoring right before halftime as well.
I'm a big believer in that. Different coaches have different philosophies and talking about important times of the game, first 5 minutes of the game, first 5 minutes, second half. Everybody, of course, talks about the end of the ball game, but, especially if we call it doubling up, but a lot of times we like to defer and take the ball in the second half. And, we've been in some shootouts before where teams were scoring up and down the field, and then we've been in some low-scoring games, but you get a lot of momentum if you can get something positive right before halftime, and then if you get to come right back out and get the ball again and take it down and score. And that's what happened tonight. We scored there in the last 30 seconds or so of the first half, and then they had taken the ball when they won the toss. They went on offense, and so we come out and got the ball to start the second half and scored again in the first 3 minutes of the second half, and that kind of, got the separation for us that kind of made them one-dimensional. We had seen them on film against Sachs, a very good Sachs team last week, and they had a guy that was close to 200 yards rushing. They threw for right at 200 yards. They were very balanced, had weapons all over the field, and our guys did a wonderful job of going out and getting an early lead and kind of making them have to be one-dimensional, and I thought that was a big point in the game tonight.
Coach, you were right there about right before halftime. We used to always preach it too. Try to get that momentum going into the half because it can really carry over, into the third quarter. But I'm gonna ask a little. I'm gonna give you a stat right here for a minute. I'm not gonna give you the yards. I'm gonna let you do that. But I think a school record was broken tonight. But that school record would not have happened. I'm gonna let you do it if that offensive line hadn't seen 100% improvement from last week to this week. Tell us a little bit about that and our record that was broken tonight.
Yeah, our quarterback, Jack Hayes, he's a 4-year starter for us, and he's had some big games. But tonight, I think in our official stats, I think he was like 20 out of 29 for 419 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, and that passing total is a school record. But, Coach, I didn't feel like I did a very good job last week of having our team prepared and having enough in the arsenal to be able to give him some different launch points and things. And we worked really hard this week on our boot game, getting him out on the corner some. Everybody in our receiving corps got involved tonight. I think those 5 touchdowns, I think Ish had 2 and Thomas had 1, and Parker Thornton caught a touchdown, Riley Pinto caught a touchdown, but Gatlin Gardner, Max Hansen had 3 or 4 catches apiece. Just a great all-around effort, and had a lot of people that the Sylvania defense had to try to defend tonight. And like I said, we got Jack out on the corner, a little bit more run-pass options. We threw some quick stuff. We threw some deeper stuff. And I just thought we were better prepared. And like I said, I take the blame for that for last week of just being in the pocket, not taking advantage of his strengths. And, and not taking advantage of the strengths of our team, which is a bunch of guys that can make some plays when the ball's in their hands. And tonight it just worked out well for us. But you mentioned the offensive line. Quarterback gets too much credit when things go good, always gets too much blame when it don't go good. But, those offensive linemen we had, they were doing a good job last week, but I had everything being thrown from one spot. We were 5 yards behind the center and throwing from right there. And so as Cherokee County was getting some pressure, our guys were doing what they were supposed to up front, but I just wasn't giving them enough of a variety of getting the pocket moved and things like that. So, loss obviously woke our team up, but also exposed my deficiencies last week of not getting them ready to play and got us to be a little bit more creative on taking advantage of the players that we do have and trying to put them in a position to succeed. And our offensive line, I mentioned them, they don't never get mentioned by name, but Connor Williams, Cade Newton, Chris John Gurley, Sam Talbert, Landon McDaniels, and Braden McDaniels would pretty much play like a six-man rotation there, and those guys did a wonderful job tonight, and they blocked the boot pass as well. They blocked the quick game. They blocked the deeper developing stuff well. Gave Jack time to throw it, and like I said, he found his receivers tonight. He's a lot more accurate tonight, and the guys caught the ball, and then when they caught it, they did something with it afterward.
One of the things you just said tees up my question. What was this week of practice and preparation like for your guys? They don't lose very often, and they expect to win. And some teams can take one loss and they spray it into the next week. What was this week of prep like for your guys?
I give them a lot of credit. Them and our assistant coaches, they did a wonderful job of being able to flush last week and get on. I was probably the worst person to be around this week. I was most disappointed because I wouldn't have wanted to be around me this week. I don't know that anybody wanted to be around me because I was really disappointed in myself more than anything else. Going into your backyard or your old hometown and playing your biggest rival in a non-region game to start the year and not having your team prepared to play. And again, I don't say any of that to disrespect what Cherokee County did. Sure. They've got a great team. They played well, and they deserved to win the game last week. But I felt like I let my guys down a lot by not having them more prepared to play in that game. And so, I know I wasn't pleasant to be around, and I know the guys think that I'm always just on them about all the small stuff and nitpicking here and there. But credit to them, credit to our assistant coaches for tolerating me and getting back focused tonight and playing really, really well. It was a great performance tonight by all of our guys.
Well, Coach, you know as well as I do that what you did tonight is going to be something that people are going to have to look at. Maybe not next week, whatever, but if you go as your season goes as you plan and you work on into the playoffs, people can't just line up in there and say we're going to put 8 in the box and cover Jack Hayes running the football.
Right. And that's
they're going to have to cover a lot of other people.
That's right, and that's exactly what they did tonight. And I thought it was a good game plan from Sylvania. If I was playing against us and I was scouting us,
that's right.
I think what they did tonight was sound, and it was a good plan. And again, our guys just were able to execute tonight out on the perimeter and making some of those plays. And, just one of those things to where we saw tonight what we can be, just like we also saw last week what can happen. It's a tale of 2 weeks for sure. Certainly don't make the season by winning tonight. Certainly didn't break the season by losing last week, and I did try to preach to everybody that, this week's game would not have anything to do with last week's unless we let it. And next Friday night's game, nothing about tonight is going to be a hangover unless we let it. It's every week in this region in particular, and with the schedule that we play, non-region with Cherokee County and Anniston and Sylacauga and a Jamboree with Fife, and then, like I said, the people that are in our region that are used to making the playoffs, there are no breaks. That's right. And so our kids have got to understand that 1 week's success or failures does not necessarily determine the next week's. You got to get up. We got to get ready to play a Plainview team that's got a coach that's got over 300 wins that obviously knows what he's doing. He's going to have his guys ready. They come off a tough loss tonight to a really good Geraldine team and a kind of a rivalry game. And our biggest challenge this next week's not going to be get too happy on ourselves about how we played tonight. I've seen it from them, and they'll hear it from me always. I've seen that you can do that. That's how I want to play every week now.
Well, I've told people in the community will ask, they took their region from last year and they split it in half. I said, wait a minute, yeah, they took some teams out that were playoff teams, but they put playoff teams back in it.
Right.
And those teams are proud programs too that have been there before. So, yeah, I think they've made your region just as good.
Yeah, it was disappointing to lose Sachs and Weaver and Welborn to the reclassification, new regions. I mean, because we enjoy playing those guys that are here in Calhoun County, and Pleasant Valley class down to 2A, so we lost those. So we lost 4 teams from the county that we've been pretty used to playing over the last few years. So that part was disappointing just because of those, in-county rivals. Yeah. But I told everybody, I said, you lost a Sachs team that was a semifinalist and a Welborn team that was a playoff team last year. But in Geraldine, Plainview, and Sylvania, we picked up 3 teams that were playoff teams themselves. And Westbrook Christian, Coach Knowles has got that program going in the right direction. You saw Glencoe Hoaks Bluff tonight. It was a tough, hard-fought game, and that's our region. They're those teams that we just mentioned, and all those teams are going to be hard-nosed, solid football teams.
Coach, you mentioned players tonight.
Right.
And you're doing something tonight that I love, and that's bringing some of these players, some of these seniors guys that have been leaders for you for a lot of years. This class has been very good. A lot of these guys have been playing for a long time. We're going to show these guys on the screen right now. You brought several of these players with you. Right. Tell us who these guys are, what they do, and what they mean to your football program.
Trent Young, 33 over there, is a defensive end. Trent, 3-year starter for us, and outstanding player. Max Hanson, number 4, right there, is one of our receivers. Also does some double duty as a defensive back, kick return guy. Max is one of our captains this year. Trent is also one of our captains. Cody Holloway, number 8, you saw some highlights of him tonight on the offensive side, but he's a guy that's been starting for us on the defensive side of the ball for 3 years as a corner. Gatlin Gardner, number 6, right there. Gatlin had some big catches tonight for us. Had some big catches for us in the semifinals and the quarterfinals last year. A couple big touchdown catches in those games. Starts at receiver for us, and in the back, the long-haired, the 80s rock band people, the people that I'm trying to be like. Cade Newton.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute, Coach.
Yeah, Cade Newton back there in the middle, number 72. Newton's our right guard, hard-nosed kid. Really love having. He's the kind of guy you loved having in the locker room, and like I said, he's starting at right guard for us, and then on the very, very back, far right, I guess that's Connor Williams right there shaking his hair, 74. Connor and Max, actually Connor and Max are 4-year starters. They both started it for us on the 19 championship team, and Connor played 2 years at tackle. In the last 2 years, he's been our center, kind of the captain of the offensive line up there. But he's also, he and Trent and Max are the guys that we brought tonight are 3 of our permanent team captains.
I asked you back in the summer about this particular class, about the athleticism of the class, and you had an interesting answer, not so much about the athleticism, but about the winning, the winning attitude of this bunch, and that as far as great classes that have come through Piedmont, this bunch, not just in football, because a lot of these guys in this senior class that you have are multi-sport athletes. You've got great success in basketball and baseball as well. Talk about that winning mentality that this senior class has.
I think, John, it's just the epitome of what high school athletics is supposed to be about. I think we've gotten so carried away with specialization and things in sports, and parents have gotten so carried away with scholarships and thinking that ball's going to carry their kids through their college years that we don't take the time to let kids be kids anymore. And I love football, but they'll tell you it's not football 365 days a year at Piedmont. When football season ends, we want them to play basketball. We want them to wrestle. We want them to get involved in indoor track. And when the spring rolls around, we don't do spring football, because we're all playing baseball or running track, playing golf. And that's what I want them to do. I want them to be kids. I want them to enjoy their high school days and not look back and regret not participating in everything that they could possibly help. And these guys, the ones that are here as well as the other 14 we got 20 seniors this year, they've done a wonderful job of being ambassadors and representatives of our school and our community. And you're right, a lot of the same names. You'll see them on some of these other teams that make deep playoff runs as well. And it's just they've won ever since they were little. And, it's a different bunch. I've said this many times before. This bunch is a fun-loving, carefree bunch. I don't even know when I was getting on them this week about how last week went. I don't know if it just went in one ear and out the other to some of them because they're so carefree. But they also understand we all pulling for the same goal, and they know I want them to succeed, and I want to win real bad, and I think they want to succeed and they want to win real bad. So it's kind of like a family. You don't always have happy days and good days, but we all pulling in the same direction, and you're gonna get things. We're going to throw rocks at each other maybe in the house a little bit when things ain't going good, but we ain't let nobody else throw rocks at us. You get one of us, you're going to get all of us, and that's what I love about these guys.
Coach, since you brought it up about the hair, we're going to dive into that because the uninitiated out there may not know what this is all about. Now, when I was at Spring Garden in the 80s when you were at Cherokee County, we're close in age, and I don't remember you having a mullet at center.
No.
So this is not a thing where you're trying to go back to your high school days. Tell folks about what this is all about, because a lot of folks may not know what this is all about. There's a reason for this.
Yeah, I've had about the same short haircut ever since I was about 16 years old, you know.
That's what I remember.
I've had it for a long time. I did get in a stage there in high school of the part down the middle and feather it back and it covered my ears and all that stuff. But I didn't ever have this mess. But, you know, kind of something we did just for fun. 19 team. A lot of these guys were freshmen. A lot of them were playing on that 19 team that we had, and they was like, Coach, we win the state, you grow a mullet. I said, yeah, man, I'll do that. We'd starting a freshman quarterback, freshman right tackle, freshman receiver, freshman inside linebacker. I thought, hey, I always got faith in our guys, but I thought, you know, winning the state probably a little far-fetched with this group this year, and lo and behold, we did. And so I grew it out, and the deal was I'd grow it, and then when we got beat in 2020 by 5 in the semifinals, I got a haircut like the next Monday. And so when 2021 rolled around, you know, we went through all the COVID stuff in 2020, and then it was starting to kind of come back again in 2021. Everybody's thinking, oh no, here we go again with all this and just in casual conversation, they said, you need to grow that mullet back out. And I said, I'll grow it back out. And they said, well, this time you should let it go all the way through till this class graduates.
Wow.
So as of right now, the plan is I'm going to grow this out till whatever they know when graduation is, probably already. But if it's 25th, I'm going to grow it to May 26th, I guess. But anyhow, it looks crazy, and I understand it looks goofy and looks bad, and I just got old enough, I don't care. I mean, if it's something we can have a good time with, and it's something we can kind of laugh at me about, I'm used to that. My people at home, they like to laugh at me. You know, my kids, my wife, I'm the butt of the jokes usually all the time at the house. So, you know, just going to work and being the butt of the jokes, that's kind of just normal.
Coach, thank you for their laughing over there. Thank you for bringing these guys. Thank you for coming. Congratulations on the big win tonight. Thank you for the explanation. And, you know, that's a coach that cares and loves the base football team. To do this right here and to do it all the way through next May, not even just through football season, that's a guy who loves and cares about his football team. Coach, thank you for being with us here tonight on After the Game. And as we go to break, we're going to have our first Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden extra point of the night. How about this? 2 all-time legends of Alabama high school football square off next Friday night at the Field of Champions in Piedmont. Plainview head coach Dale Pruitt and Piedmont head coach Steve Smith right here with us. Both are among the top 15 coaches and wins in AHSA history. Check this out, folks. The 2 coaches have coached a combined 68 years, including 42 at their current schools. This is the 3rd time around for Coach Pruitt at Plainview. Pruitt and Smith have combined to win 577 games, including tonight, made 56 playoff appearances, and had 10 unbeaten regular seasons. And Coach Smith here won the only head-to-head matchup in a playoff game back in 2010. Next Friday night at the Field of Champions, go out and see 2 great coaches and 2 good football teams, Coach Dale Pruitt and Coach Steve Smith. That's our first Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden extra point. We'll be back with more of After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at peeweeturnermotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
Cash back. Plain and simple. That's what you'll get on the Noble Bank Cash Back account. No tricks, no gimmicky names, just free accounts that pay you cash back. If unlimited transactions, fraud protection, and refunds on ATM withdrawal fees nationwide sounds like your kind of banking, visit us at noblebank.com and learn more about the Noble Cash Back account. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank and Trust. Noblebank.com. Member FDIC.
Are you ready for some football? Come in all month long and take a test drive at Team 1 Chevrolet and have a chance to win an Alabama, Auburn Tailgate, or the ultimate tailgate package. Log on to ChevroletofGadsden.com for complete details. Chevrolet of Gadsden, where everyone's a winner. Someone's going to win an Alabama tailgate, someone's going to win an Auburn tailgate, and somebody's going to win the ultimate grand prize, including grill, generator, and big screen TV. Chevrolet of Gadsden, home of the best people, the best service, period.
Your home is a reflection of you, whether that's classic, farm style, or something unique. We at Ted's Carpet and Floor understand that, and we'll help you through the selection, finance, and installation process. We have an extensive selection of designer tiles, carpet, laminate, and hardwood. Let us help you choose the perfect granite or quartz to customize your kitchen or bathroom. We offer free in-home measurements, estimates, and design consultations. Ted's Carpet and Floor, your style, our passion.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
It is a football Friday night. This is after the game. Jon Holder, the coach Michael Short, Gerhard Mathangani, joined for this segment by Namath Pitts of WVOK with their game of the week. They had the Anniston Munford game tonight out of Class 4A Region 4. That's going to be our focus in this segment, is Class 4A Region 4. Gerhard, the big game obviously in this region tonight was the game at Golden Eagle Stadium between Hanley and Jacksonville, a top 4 matchup in the state of Alabama. Number 2 Hanley, number 4 Jacksonville. I think the folks got their money's worth. I mean, if you like offense, there was a lot of points scored tonight up in Jacksonville.
And most certainly so. And we'll go straight to those highlights from Jacksonville. As John mentioned, top 4 matchup between these two squads, Jacksonville and Hanley. Here it is. 18-14 Hanley lead, 4 minutes to go in the first half. John, we talked about there not being a lot of defense. Well, here's actually one defensive play here for Hanley. DeQuavian Slaughter gets the tackle on Jim Ogle. It's a sack, bringing up 4th down. Hanley now on offense. Cannon Kyles hits Nehemiah Askew for a 1st down. A little bit of controversy after this about whose ball it was. Slight fumble there, but Hanley does retain possession after that play. A few plays later, it's now 4th and 5. Hanley goes to Kyles once again to Jamarius Haynes. He gets the 1st down there. Next play, Kyle scrambles, hits Jordan West, number 14, and he's in there for the touchdown, one of several on the night. Talked about a whole lot of points. They got 2 more right here on the 2-point conversion on the pitch to Haynes. It is good. Tigers up 26-14. Jacksonville now back on offense. And the pass here to Will Phillips. Nice play by Ogle, just keeping that play alive. Hits Phillips with the long run, gets inside the 15-yard line. Right before the half ends, it is Ogle going to the end zone. However, this would be incomplete, and that's where we ended off there. DeMonte Sinclair, the intended receiver, so Jacksonville didn't get the score there on that highlight, but as you saw earlier on our scoreboard, Jacksonville scored a lot more points and ended up being a really great game. And as you said, John, tons and tons of points in this one.
54-41, 95 points combined scored in this game. Lots of offense in this game, which was a little bit surprising. I thought maybe we might see a little bit more defense being played, especially on the handling of things. But Coach and guys, as we talk about Class 4A Region 4, I think 2 points to take away from tonight. One is Jacksonville has their backs to the wall now as far as hosting a home playoff game. They've got Anniston next week at Watt Mosby. That's a must-win now if you're going to host a playoff game. And then I think, it looks like right now Hanley and Anniston. That looks like a huge matchup coming up, as it was last year. That was the game that decided the region last year, and it looks like it may do that again. Of course, Jacksonville still got a lot to say about that with that Anniston game next week. But, Coach, this region looking like we've got 2 really big games coming down the pike with Hanley, Anniston, Jacksonville.
Yeah, I mean, Jacksonville's got the work cut out for them, having these 2 teams back to back. That's a big challenge. Jim Ogle tonight, he put up his stats. He had 23 for 44 for 372 yards. He had 3 touchdown passes and he had 1 interception. You throw it 44 times, you're liable to have an interception, especially with the speed and the skill of the secondary that Hanley had. You know, the one thing that stands out in my mind is their running back, Zay English, had 70 yards. So the lack of rushing was probably what hurt Jacksonville, because you got to be able to rush the football to set up the play action pass. You can throw it and throw it and throw it. And they probably, tired them out some, but Hanley was good enough inside to shut down the running game, which forced it into an all-throw game. And they completed a lot of passes. But Hanley is so large up front and can move around so well up front. And I think that had a lot to do with Jacksonville's loss tonight, was the lack of being able to run the football. We talked about that early in the year. Can they line up and run the football against certain people? And that's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge next week, because Anniston is got some large people, and they can move, and they're fast up front. So it'll come down again is how big a game can you have. And I don't know this. I know he threw for 372 yards, but how many explosive plays did Hanley give up? That's where I look at it. Hanley's going to let you catch the ball and then get you down. I don't have stats for Hanley, but I listened to a little bit on the radios. I was trying to get back over here, is when I heard Hanley getting in the wishbone, putting more people in the backfield. Because what Hanley was doing is, let's don't give Jim Ogle the ball. Let's run the football and keep it away from him. And I would say Hanley probably had over 300 yards rushing tonight just by being able to line up and run the football. And it was very similar to what they did last year. Last year the game was Jacksonville was ahead for a long time, but then they decided to give it to Tay Meadows, and that's what happened. So I believe that has a lot to do with it.
I think we're going to look at the standings here from this region. So as we look at the standings here in our region rundown, we'll look at Class 4A Region 4 and some of the best teams in the state in this region. As we've been talking about, Anniston is now 3-0, 1-0 in region play. Hanley now 3-0, 1-0 in region play. Jacksonville falls to 0-1. They're 2-1 there. Munford tonight losing to Anniston. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. And then, of course, Cleburne County had a big win tonight at home against Talladega. White Plains had an open date and did not play tonight. As we come back onto the set here, we're going to bring Namath in at this time. Namath Pitts here from WVOK AM. His game of the week tonight was Anniston and Munford tonight down at Munford. Anniston won the game 55-7, but Namath, you were texting me earlier, and Munford actually got after Anniston a little bit in the first half, right?
The score was 0-0 at the end of the first quarter, and Anniston scored right as we started the second quarter. And the next play, like the first offensive play, Sylvester Smith, committed to Tennessee, if anybody doesn't know that, never played quarterback. He's Munford's quarterback this year. He's obviously a running back. He breaks open for 60 yards. Nobody's on him. He just fumbles the ball. Nobody's on him. He just fumbles the ball. And then it's like that play right there changed the game. Anniston got that fumble. 3 plays later, drove down, punched it in. And it was just like ever since that moment in the game, it changed the rest of the game. And, look, I think Munford's still a really, really good team. And you've got Cleburne County and White Plains and Talladega. And no disrespect to any of those teams, but I looked at this Munford team tonight, and I even told, Pacey, our color guy, said this is a playoff team. And this is a team that has talent. I was surprised at Sylvester Smith's ability to throw the ball, to make plays, on the run. And then, Coach Short, I cracked up during the game because I thought about you asked me a question week 0. You said, what, can Anniston throw the ball deep? And I said, well, they haven't had to show us. Well, they showed off a little bit tonight on throwing the ball deep. I remember Cameron Senna came rolling back on his back foot, and I was like, I don't even know how this guy got the ball off, throws it 50 yards. He overthrew his receiver. So they got the ability to throw the ball deep. I will tell you that. So I thought about that from week 0.
Namath, you saw Anniston week 1 against Wellborn. Now you've seen them here in week 3 against Munford. What, you see anything different in those 2 weeks? Is Anniston better at some things?
The difference is Malachi Taylor's hurt. I think that hasn't been advertised. He did not play tonight. Maybe he's not hurt and it's something else, but I would like to assume that he's hurt, and that's, so he's a difference maker. And, you've seen Dobbins and Elijah Allen, some different guys, and look, they had success. I'm not saying those aren't good players. Anson's got speed and athleticism, but Jalen Cunningham was the guy tonight. He had over 3-4 touchdowns. They're just hand him the ball off wide receiver and let him run 70 yards. And so if somebody can neutralize Cunningham right now, then I think you've got a chance to be successful against Anniston. But I definitely think I don't see a lot of flaws in this team. They have the ability to make special teams plays. They have the ability to beat you in one play. They have the ability to drive down the field and punch it in. They did that, a few drives tonight. But I would say if there was a weakness, it's penalties. They just continuously get uncalled penalties. And when they face a team like Jacksonville, like Hanley, are those penalties finally going to catch up to them? They haven't so far. They're putting up 55 points with however many penalties. But I just like tonight's game. Are those, things like that going to start catching up to you against better teams?
Before we leave this segment, guys, next week, we talked about it. If there's a game that's been talked about in Calhoun County in the offseason, it is the game coming up next week at White Mosby Memorial Stadium between Anniston and Jacksonville. This is quickly, I've thought that Alexandria and Jacksonville are probably the biggest rivalry the last few years in Calhoun County. I think it's switching. I think it's now, maybe at least for the next couple of years, it's Anniston and Jacksonville. This is going to be an intense game, a huge environment coming up in this game. Probably the most intense game we're going to see in this county this year next week, I think.
Most certainly. There was times a while ago where it was Anniston and Saxon, and you would go to those games, and all of us that stood on the sidelines, the physicality was taken to another level. And I'm not saying that you're falling off against other teams, but you just see the physicality taken to another level because of the intensity of the rivalry. When you add that in this next week's game with Jacksonville and Anniston, along with the fact that it is a monster region game, I think that you'll see that intensity rear up even more. I think Jacksonville will stay in the polls. Not sure how far they'll drop. I don't have a vote. I think I would keep them in the top 10 if I had a vote. So it could be a top 10 matchup once again. And then obviously a monster region game. And then the physicality that we already know that Anniston has, that we think that Jacksonville has. But as you said, Coach, they're going to have to show it, especially on offense running the football.
Well, I know right now that the two best defenses probably in the region, and here I am, an old defensive guy, is probably Anniston and Hanley on the defensive side.
Correct.
Offensively, Jacksonville may have the experience there, but it's going to come down to this. This is going to be very simple. Friday night is such a big game, and it's been talked about for so much. What coaching staff is going to be able to bring their team down? I'm saying down from up here,
right, before
you ever kick off to down here. Because you can lose a ball game in warm-ups, doing a lot of talking, a lot of running around, a lot of sweating, and you can lose a ball game in the first quarter by not concentrating on what you're doing, and you're so worried about pay back this, pay back that it ends up costing you. Penalties, you already mentioned it. You got to cut down on those penalties. And for Jacksonville, I'll mention it again. Can they line up and run the football against Anniston? If they can run the football, if they can get 100 yards of rushing, they'll have a good chance because of Jim's arm. But Anniston, I know, is going to sit there and try to put it in his hands and make him run and try to make him feel uncomfortable. But again, who's going to find out who has the quickest start? And I think that's what will be in the game.
Yeah.
An intense game next week at White Mosby Memorial Stadium, Anniston and Jacksonville. Earlier, we unveiled the first round of voting with Spring Garden and with Jacksonville in our F&M Bank Spirit Scholarship that we're doing again this year. Farmers and Merchants Bank, we want to tell you more about them. Farmers and Merchants Bank, over the last just several years, they have given away $20,000 in scholarships right here in the Calhoun County area. Of course, you know that they have the debit cards, the School Spirit debit cards, where you can get a debit card with your school, every school in Calhoun County, plus Spring Garden, you can have a debit card. Farmers and Merchants Bank, great supporters of high school football Alabama after the game, and also great supporters of high school athletics here in Calhoun County. We'll be back with more of After the Game as we roll on a Football Friday Night on Facebook and YouTube.
Are you ready for some football? Come in all month long and take a test drive at Team 1 Chevrolet and have a chance to win an Alabama, Auburn tailgate, or the ultimate tailgate package. Log on to ChevroletofGadsden.com for complete details. Chevrolet of Gadsden, where everyone's a winner. Someone's going to win an Alabama tailgate, someone's going to win an Auburn tailgate, and somebody's going to win the ultimate grand prize, including grill, generator, and big screen TV. Chevrolet of Gadsden, home of the best people, the best service, period.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Cash back. Plain and simple. That's what you'll get on the Noble Bank Cash Back account. No tricks, no gimmicky names. Just free accounts that pay you cash back. If unlimited transactions, fraud protection, and refunds on ATM withdrawal fees nationwide sounds like your kind of banking, visit us at noblebank.com and learn more about the Noble Cashback account. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank and Trust. noblebank.com, member FDIC.
Hi, this is Jimmy Newman from Oxford Lumber. I've kicked off many times in my football days, and that's an exciting play. When you're ready to kick off your next building or remodeling project, let us make sure you start your project off right, with the right material at the right price so you can score big and get the job done. Stop by and see our local guys with over 60 years of experience serving you. Come by any one of our 4 locations in Oxford, Talladega, Jacksonville, or Roanoke. And don't forget about our low price guarantee.
Your home is a reflection of you, whether that's classic, farm style, or something unique. We at Ted's Carpet and Floor understand that, and we'll help you through the selection, finance, and installation process. We have an extensive selection of designer tiles, carpet, laminate, and hardwood. Let us help you choose the perfect granite or quartz to customize your kitchen or bathroom. We offer free in-home measurements, estimates, and design consultations. Ted's Carpet and Floor, your style, our passion.
After the game, rolling on a football Friday night, we've been talking about Class 4A Region 4 tonight. We're going to continue to talk about Class 4A Region 4. It's all local teams in that region. One of those teams, the Cleburne County Tigers. We welcome in the head coach of the Tigers, Coach Joby Burns, with us tonight. Coach, glad to have you in over from Heflin tonight. Joined by Coach Michael Short and Gerhard Mathangani once again. Coach, 63-23 tonight. An offensive explosion for your team against Talladega. More importantly, a region win. Kind of a strange game tonight because you had a big lead. You're trying to go ahead and close that out and get on to the next week. But there was an injury in the game and a big delay in the game. Tell us what happened there.
Well, Talladega had a guy that had a neck injury, so obviously you want to be careful with that. And yeah, it was, and just took a while in the second half. But again, you just want to make sure that the guy's okay, and hadn't heard a whole lot from it, but hopefully everything's fine.
Certainly, our prayers go out to that young man and his family. Gerhard, you got some highlights tonight. You were over at the pit at Heflin at Ellie Bell Field tonight for the Cleburne County Tigers and opening up region play with Talladega. Take us through the highlights from over at Heflin tonight.
Yeah, really festive atmosphere out at Heflin. That's my first time seeing the new turf coaching. It looks fantastic out there. Really, really good. Let's go out to Ellie Bell Field as a meeting of the Tigers here is Talladega in town today in the first region matchup against a really good Cleburne County football team. We'll start with Kyler McGrin, quarterback that you know well. Coach heading over, hits Nate Adams there in the flats. And Adams does the rest. Great blocking on the outside that you didn't see there in the frame down to the 8-yard line. A couple plays later, handoff to Dylan McGrin, a 5-yard touchdown run, just like that. Cleburne County on the board, 7-0 early on. Then, Coach, you got a really big play on special teams here. Jacob Cavender with a really solid return. Great blocking, but this is pure athleticism here. Oh, number 9 getting on the outside. I like that number, by the way. It's the one I wore at Homewood High School. Outside. Big return into Tiger territory, into Talladega Tiger territory. I should clarify there. Coach Burns and his guys talking up. This is the very next snap after that conversation. Touchdown. I saw your guys talking about this, calling it a tutty. Bo Clay into the end zone there from the pass from Kyler McGrin. When I left, it was 14-0. You quickly scored as I was leaving to make it 21-0. Ended up putting up 63 points on Talladega today and going 1-2 on the season, picking up victory number 1. Coach, a really, really solid win.
Thank you.
Coach, let's talk about the game tonight. What did you see the biggest improvement on your team this year? Obviously, offense, 63 points tonight. Tell us your perspective on the improvement that your team made this week.
Well, of course, our coaches did a great job all week long, and I definitely think our offensive line played a lot better tonight. We made some plays. We, caught the ball in the pass game a little bit better than we have the first 2 games. But, yeah, just overall, better offensive performance. Got after it really good this week, and it paid off tonight.
We had 35 carries tonight for 341 yards. Right. I mean, that right there goes in and tells you your offensive line got better from last week to this week. And then Kyler McGrin, You can't say enough about Kyler. You know, I'm sure people have talked. You know how people talk. Quarterback a lot of times takes too much blame. They take too much credit.
Right.
But, you know, he was 14 carries tonight for 141 yards rushing. He was 5 for 9 for 52 yards and a touchdown pass. I mean, I thought he had a solid game, but then again, it goes back and leads to that offensive line.
They do.
And I see that. But I was proud tonight. Your defense flew around to the ball, moved around better, tackled well on the perimeter. Because Talladega's got some kids that can run. They got some athletes too. So I thought defensively you played well tonight.
We did. You know, we came out a little bit in the second half, a little flat, and didn't tackle quite as well in the second half as we did the first half. But yeah, I felt like we played well defensively the first couple games. But yeah, Kyler, you know, he had a good game tonight, and he's just a great kid, and he's really he works so hard, does things right, and you know, he does a lot for us, and we expect a lot out of him, and he delivers.
Well, he does. Cause I saw him last Saturday. We was eating at the same place, and he was one bruised, beat up boy. But you know, again, like you said, he's a great kid. Yes. He's going to do what he's supposed to do. He's going to always be in the right place at the right time. And those kind of kids will win for you.
That's right.
They're solid kids. So I was just real proud to watch them tonight, and they did well. And it was just a great win for Cleburne County.
It was, and we're glad to get that first region win. And you know, that's been the focus all week long. Go 1-0 in the region and put ourselves in a position to, to hopefully make the playoffs and just keep getting better each and every week.
Well, there's the chances there. I mean,
Exactly.
it's a great chance to get in the playoffs.
Exactly.
That win tonight was one of your biggest wins.
That's right. That's right.
Who are some of the other players that you've really leaned on early in the season? I know you're still developing depth. I think every team is at this point in the season. Who are some of the guys that you're leaning on? We saw Jacob Cavender doing a good job defensively and on special teams for you. Who are some of the other guys that you've leaned on here early in the game?
Well, a couple others. Obviously Bo as a receiver and the defensive back. We're having to play a lot more guys both ways this year. Jake Dingler, which he moved to the offensive line today, but he's been a starting linebacker for us and does a really, really good job. Nate Adams playing outside linebacker, and just Nate's a really smart kid and gets us lined up and gets us where we need to be. You got to have guys like that. So those guys have all done a great job, and yeah, we do lean a lot on those guys.
Coach, being in a 7-team region as opposed to an 8-team region, you get weird scheduling. So you get a weird kind of odd open date that comes at a weird time, and so the selection of teams to play kind of dwindles. You step back outside, non-region play coming up next. I'm sure when you schedule this game coming up with the Moody Blue Devils, I don't know that they had the players that they have now, Coach, coming in. Tell us about just the quirk of the schedule and how it's worked out. Where you get a couple of non-region games, then you get a region game, and then you go non-region again. So, and then talk about Moody.
Well, one of the things that I really wanted to do, and we had done this, a couple years back at Clay Central, was I like having week 5 off if we can have it. And that was one of my big things, is I wanted to try to have week 5 off. I think in the middle of the year it gives you a chance to sort of, refresh and just, so that was one of my big things, and it just sort of the way the schedule worked out. No, they didn't. I don't even know. I don't think they had all these guys when we scheduled them, but hey, it is what it is. We're gonna get ready and get after them, and go see what we can do. But they'll be a good team. I know they will. I'll be honest with you though. I mean, our focus is week to week, so we'll start tonight on them, looking at them, or early tomorrow morning, and so. We've just been worried about Talladega all this week, but I know they're going to be a really, really good team.
Well, looking at your non-region schedule, when you played Northside last week, very close ball game, had a chance to win right down to the end. They're ranked.
Yes.
Moody's ranked.
Yes.
Welborn's ranked.
Right.
I mean, everybody you're playing is ranked. To me, your schedule is one of the toughest. I mean, just the region teams you have that are ranked. So y'all have a very, very, very tough schedule.
Right.
But I think if you get through it, you'll have a chance to get in the playoffs.
You will, and that's the purpose of it. I mean, you want to play good people, and that's the goal. I mean, of course, we want to win every game we play, and we're going to make the playoffs and get in there, and and the teams that we play when we get there, it's going to help us. We won't play probably anybody in the playoffs better than we're playing in the regular season.
No,
but it's. I think it does make you better, and we do. We want to play good people.
Coach, we always try to have a lighthearted question for you, and one of the lighthearted questions I've got for you. I really love Heflin. It's a great town. It's one you talk about, the consummate southern town that has where everybody rallies around the school and the football team, especially out in Alabama, and just the atmosphere at Heflin on Friday nights. You came from a small town. You've coached in small towns like we all have here on this desk here. Can you describe kind of just not necessarily football, but just Heflin and the community and what they do to support? I know you had Pard night tonight, and the whole community just gets involved with not just football, with everything that goes on over there. Your thoughts, now that you've been there for a while, your thoughts on Heflin, Alabama?
Oh, they're great. They are. They've been great to us, and Coach, I know you know all about that, but they really are. It's what high school football is supposed to be like. We've got people that, so far I've had every one of my pregame meals sponsored. People just, they rally behind you. And I'm gonna tell you what, our students have they have picked it up this year, and they've started a student section. I think tonight they had a white out, and I kept seeing the baby powder go up when we scored, and that was great. And they have really done a great job. Last week they were in their construction uniforms, and they're picking it up. And so those guys have been great, but the whole community is great, and they do support us, and they take care of us, and it's awesome. It's the way it's supposed to be.
Well, I was praying for you when the baby powder went up. I said, Lord have mercy, that black track's going to turn white down there.
Yeah,
they're having fun.
Well, my wife was telling me about it. She said, "Well, I don't," I said, "Well, somebody's got to clean that, and guess who it's going to be." But that's all right. Look, if for a win, I'll clean it. I'll be out there in the morning with a pressure washer.
I'll come with you and help you, Coach.
Coach, thank you for being with us tonight. Congratulations on the big win. Again, I want to pray for the player from Talladega that was injured tonight. I hope that he is well tonight. Big win for Cleburne County as they beat Talladega in that Battle of Tigers 63-23. Time for our next Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden Extra Point. Talking about that big game in Region 4 next week. Anniston and Jacksonville have played only 30 times, even though the series dates to 1928. Anniston leads the series 26-14, but the rivalry has been dominated by Jacksonville in recent years. Anniston won on the field last year, but that victory was later forfeited, giving the Golden Eagles 9 consecutive official wins over the Bulldogs. 20 of the 30 meetings have been at Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium in Anniston, the site of next week's 31st meeting. Our Team 1 Chevrolet Extra Point. We'll be back in just a moment.
We're the Tigers, and you're watching After the Game on Facebook and YouTube.
Anniston Orthopedics continues to provide a legacy of outstanding sports injury care on and off the field, keeping our players in the game. Anniston Orthopedics offers our Saturday morning sports injury clinic from 8 to 10 a.m. throughout the high school football season. Anniston Orthopedics also offers full-service physical therapy and occupational therapy departments. To learn more, visit our website at www.annistonortho.com. Anniston Orthopedics, located in the Tyler Center adjacent to RMC.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You will be glad you did.
There's a lot to think about when you're having a baby. Colors of the nursery, names, and most importantly, where to deliver.
We want a hospital that gives families a more personalized birthing experience.
With a compassionate team of doctors and nurses, and a hospital where my baby and I can instantly bond with all the comforts of home.
So where do we find all that?
Right here at RMC, the first designated baby-friendly hospital in Alabama.
Cash back. Plain and simple. That's what you'll get on the Noble Bank Cash Back account. No tricks, no gimmicky names, just free accounts that pay you cash back. If unlimited transactions, fraud protection, and refunds on ATM withdrawal fees nationwide sounds like your kind of banking, visit us at noblebank.com and learn more about the Noble Cash Back account. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank and Trust. Noblebank.com. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Jimmy Newman from Oxford Lumber. I've kicked off many times in my football days, and that's an exciting play. When you're ready to kick off your next building or remodeling project, let us make sure you start your project off right, with the right material at the right price so you can score big and get the job done. Stop by and see our local guys with over 60 years of experience serving you. Come by any one of our 4 locations in Oxford, Talladega, Jacksonville, Roanoke, and don't forget about our low price guarantee.
Thanks to the Glencoe cheerleaders out at Wilson Darnell Stadium tonight in Glencoe. Back on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Jon Holder, Gerhard Mathangani, the coach Michael Short with us on this football Friday night. We're going to drop down to 1A action now. We've got 1A Region 6 and Region 7 that we're going to talk about. We're going to look at the updated region standings and our region rundown that we have. And interesting tonight, in this region, Spring Garden lost to Wadley. There's a lot of folks that thought, and I may be of that persuasion, guys, that this might have been the region title game when all's said and done between Spring Garden and Wadley. And Wadley comes in and shut out Spring Garden 9-0 tonight. Also tonight, we had Victory Christian. We had Talladega County. They won over TCC. Raglan, I thought this was a huge win tonight for Raglan, coming in and beating Donahoe, and I was really surprised. They beat Donahoe 46-14 in the home opener for the Falcons tonight. And Winterboro had an open date. They did not play. But the big story in this region tonight, guys, certainly Spring Garden falling the number 2 team in the state to a Wadley team that came in at 0-2. But, Coach, you sort of saw this coming, didn't you?
Yeah, we talked about last week when we were talking about Wadley, as I mentioned to everybody, look at their scores. You know, yeah, they've got beaten. They were getting beat. But, look, they didn't give up many points. And again, as I mentioned last year or last week, scoring in defense is going to win championships, especially in the 2A under level. 2A, 1A, defenses have a chance to win for you. And we also know that Wadley's got a lot of young running backs, a lot of young skill players, and their offense is going to eventually come. Look, Wadley's got to be looked at on down the road because offensively they're going to get better and better and better. But you know, the mark of a good team and the mark of a Coach Motley team, he's kind of like his daddy. I'm going to lean on my defense until my offense gets there. Right. I mean, we played them years and years ago in a 3-2 ball game. A 3-2 ball game, and they just figured out how to win. So, you know, I wasn't there, but I can look at stats and I can see what they were doing last week. They're playing such good defense, it's going to give them a chance every ball game. So, you know, people think, well, Wadley may end up being 4th. No, Wadley could end up being 1st.
I think right now you have to say, based on what we've seen so far, that they may wind up being 1st. And, Coach, I was at that game tonight, and Wadley did a really good job. If you're going to play Spring Garden, as you know, you have to stop the run. And Wadley did a great job, obviously, of stopping the run because they shut out Spring Garden. By the way, Spring Garden, I don't know if you knew this or not, guys, Spring Garden had the longest home winning streak in the state until tonight. Wow. They had won 16 consecutive games at home. That was of 389 schools in the Alabama High School Athletic Association. They had the longest current active home win streak, and Wadley broke that tonight. So you mentioned Shannon Motley, son of legendary coach Tony Motley, who was at Munford for so many years. He's really got that thing going at Wadley. And look out for the Bulldogs, as also look out for B.B. Comer. 2 teams that I predicted high early. They didn't make me look good the last couple of weeks, but now they're starting to make me look good as well. Now let's go to Class 1A Region 7 because there was another big key in Class 1A Region 7 coming up there as well tonight, and that was a top 10 matchup between Valley Head and Decatur Heritage tonight. And I've been hearing in the offseason, guys, a lot about Valley Head. Valley Head tonight beat Decatur Heritage 57-35. Wow. And we know what kind of program Decatur Heritage has. Cedar Bluff won again tonight. And then, of course, you got Coosa Christian, a winner over the Galesville Trojans. This region right here, a lot of folks, kind of like in Class 1A Region 6, a lot of folks thought that it might have been the region championship tonight between Valley Head and Decatur Heritage, and Valley Head won that one.
Valley Head turning heads, 3-0, 1-0 right now in the region. I'll tell you what, These 1A smaller classifications are usually relatively hard to predict. It's hard to predict game to game. I think you have a pretty decent look about what the team is going to do overall. I think we had a pretty decent thought that Spring Garden was going to be good and that Wadley was going to be good. But game to game might be a little bit difficult. And same situation here, where game to game, I don't think that people saw the score of the Valley Head Decatur Heritage being as high, because you always mentioned it. Defense does win here in these smaller classifications, mainly because a lot of these guys have to play Ironman ball.
Well, it got through out the door in that ball game as far as I mean, they didn't play much there. But here's the thing you need to understand about football in these young teams we're talking about. A lot of times we need to look and see these young football teams. Sometimes they get better, but sometimes as the season goes along, and that wear and tear on a freshman and a sophomore starts to take more toll on them than it does a senior.
Right.
They're bigger, they're stronger, and a ninth grader a lot of times plays off of his athleticism, but not his strength.
Right.
So you really got to watch as the season goes along. Some of these teams that are very, very young, yeah, they may be getting better, but they may fall off there toward the end just because of their strength and they just can't handle that beating year after year after year. That's the same thing in every level of football. Those younger kids sometimes can't take it.
Right.
A college guy going to pros, he can't take the number of games they play.
Exactly. It takes a while to build those calluses.
It does.
We talked about that defense from Wadley tonight out at Spring Garden. Gerhard, we got highlights of that game. Yep. We were out there earlier, and appropriately in these highlights we're going to see a big tone setter early in the game was 2 turnovers created by that Wadley defense.
That's exactly right. And you could probably call Wadley, going into this game, probably the best team that didn't have a win in the entire state going into this matchup. Let's go over to Spring Garden today as Spring Garden hooking up over at Jason Howard Field. Jon Holder, Charlie were both there, and really a great atmosphere always there at Spring Garden as the Garden gets ready to try to defend their home turf against a really good Wadley team. And the highlights start, guys, with the opening kickoff of the game. Big turnover there as Spring Garden gets on top of the football there, and they have the ball here facing 4th down and 3 at the 33. 7-yard run there by Connor Bates. Picks up the first down, moves the chains. A little bit later in the drive, Cam Welsh, 15-yard pass from Chapel Pope. Nice one-handed catch there. Pope down to the 11-yard line. Another 4th down a little bit later on here for Spring Garden. The first one was converted. This one, incomplete pass, turnover on downs. Braxton Haney was the intended receiver there. Big play here for the Wadley defense. And shout out to my main man, Charlie. He kept up with the play here. A lot of photographers, they hit stop record because they think that forward progress is stopped. But how about Joby Burns taking this 52 yards the other way on the fumble recovery? Takes it down to the Spring Garden 12. They would get this field goal here. Field goal by Brock Baldridge is good, 27 yards out. It's a 3-0 lead for Wadley, and another big defensive play here for Wadley as the interception into the hands of Frisco Robertson. Interception there for Wadley as Spring Garden. As you said, John, that really, really long winning streak is now snapped at the hands of a really solid Wadley team. Only needing 9 points to come away with the victory.
Well, it's one of these things, if you start looking at North Alabama guys in Class 1A, there's a possibility these two teams could easily meet again somewhere down the road.
Right.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Exactly. Well, we've seen that a few times in other classifications where there's a lot of power in one region. There's power in the north here seems to be with these two programs. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. I haven't seen the full bracket to see where they would match up, whether it's quarters or semis, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we see these two teams hooking up again.
We see outstanding performances, guys, in small school football. It's not always the big schools. We see outstanding performances. We saw one last week. As a matter of fact, it's time for our Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Game. And our player of the week, I should say, our player of the week from last week comes from one of those small schools. It's Noah Lee of Jacksonville Christian Academy in Jacksonville. Last Friday night in their 49-6 win over Trinity of Pelham, he completed 12 of 15 passes for 239 yards and 4 touchdowns in that big win. He will receive the Player of the Week plaque coming up from Farmers and Merchants Bank. We'll be getting that to him, and we will be announcing our next Player of the Week next Friday night right here on High School Football Alabama's After the Game. We come back. More of High School Football Alabama's After the Game as we roll toward 12 midnight on a Football Friday night.
In-home is a reflection of you, whether that's classic, farm style, or something unique. We at Ted's Carpet and Floor understand that, and we'll help you through the selection, finance, and installation process. We have an extensive selection of designer tiles, carpet, laminate, and hardwood. Let us help you choose the perfect granite or quartz to customize your kitchen or bathroom. We offer free in-home measurements, estimates, and design consultations. Ted's Carpet and Floor, your style, our passion.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at peeweeturnermotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
In Alabama, school spirit is in the air on Friday nights. At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're giving our customers the opportunity to show their school spirit every day with our new Spirit debit card. We've designed a unique card for every Calhoun County school that includes the school's logo. So every time you use the card, you're showing your school spirit. Come in and get your school spirit debit card today. We've got spirit at F&M Bank. Service, solutions, and strength. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Are you ready for some football? Come in all month long and take a test drive at Team 1 Chevrolet and have a chance to win an Alabama, Auburn tailgate, or the ultimate tailgate package. Log on to ChevroletofGadsden.com for complete details. Chevrolet of Gadsden, where everyone's a winner. Someone's going to win an Alabama tailgate, someone's going to win an Auburn tailgate, and somebody's going to win the ultimate grand prize, including grill, generator, and big screen TV. Chevrolet of Gadsden, home of the best people, the best service, period.
Back on high school football, Alabama's after the game on a football Friday night presented by the Calhoun County Commission. One more time to go through our Oxford Lumber and Ace Hardware scoreboard. Get you all the final scores from the games around East Alabama. Piedmont tonight beating Sylvania 40-7. The final in that one, it was Raglan over Donahoe 46-14. The Oxford Yellow Jackets, highlights of this game still to come. They beat Shades Valley 45-13. Also, Anniston beating Munford 55-7. The final from Munford this evening. And it was Sachs beating Beulah 48-6, the final from out at Jack Stewart Field. Westbrook Christian, a big win as they beat Ohatchee 35-13. Moody, the Blue Devils tonight, beating Alexandria in a top 10 matchup in 5A, 42-27, the final score from over at Moody this evening. Also tonight, as we take a look at more scores coming in across East Alabama, we'll take a look at the Weaver and Dadeville score. Dadeville is a winner over Weaver 39-6. The big game in Class 4A tonight, really in the whole state, was that top 4 matchup in Jacksonville. Number 2 Hanley beating number 4 Jacksonville 54-41 this evening. Also tonight, it was JCA on the road at Cornerstone as they beat Cornerstone by a score of 44-40. We'll go skip ahead to the Pleasant Valley game. Cleburne County beating Pleasant Valley. West End beating Pleasant Valley 41-20. Cleburne County over Talladega 63-23 tonight. Continuing to look at more final scores. Ranburne over Fayetteville 47-12. Woodland tonight falls to B.B. Comer. B.B. Comer back in the top 10. Number 9 team in the state in Class 2A. They beat Woodland 48-3, the final score. Talked a lot about this game. Randolph County over Childersburg 36-7. Randolph County wins. Also tonight, it was Wadley, as we said, shutting down Spring Garden, shutting out the Panthers. Number 2 ranked team in the state in Class 1A, 9-0 that game at Spring Garden tonight. Central Clay County beat Tallahassee 21-6 tonight. That was down at Tallahassee in Elmore County. Also this last night, a game played on Thursday, Elmore County beat Sylacauga 48-21. Other final scores from tonight involving Talladega County teams. We have this final just coming in. Victory Christian pounding Talladega County Central tonight at Howell Cove, 51-6, the final score in that one. it was Southside. Very impressive over the Lincoln Golden Bears, 45-7 the final. Also this evening, in other games involving teams here in East Alabama, it was Leeds over Springville, 41-13. Leeds, the number 3 team in the state in Class 5A. Etowah beat Asheville, 42-0. Shutout win for the Etowah Blue Devils. Number 7 Pisgah 2A beat Sandrock, 41-14. The final in that game tonight from up at Sandrock. Cherokee County, number 10 in Class 4A, beating Good Hope, 50-7. The final score in that one tonight. Also, in games involving teams in Cherokee County, it was the Galesville Trojans and the Coosa Christian Conquerors. That game being played, well, we don't have that one, but Cedar Bluff beat Woodville 48-20. There's the Coosa Christian score. Coosa Christian beating Galesville 42-6, the final in that game tonight. Also this evening, it was Cedar Bluff. They have never lost ever in history at the hands of Woodville. They didn't tonight. And it was by the score of 48-20 that Cedar Bluff beat Woodville tonight, 48-20. Southeastern win over Gaston, 41-14. The final out at Gaston. Hoaks Bluff a winner over Glencoe, 21-14 in the 79th meeting of those two teams. Gadsden City beat Buckhorn tonight, 31-7 is the final score in that game from Titan Stadium in Gadsden. We talked about the Valley Head win over Decatur Heritage, a top 10 matchup in Class 1A by a score of 57-35. A top 10 matchup in 3A in West Alabama. Number 7 Gordo beating undefeated number 2 Winfield, 49-42 the final in that game. And one more score for you to report tonight. That was number 1 Central Phoenix City in Class 7A beating number 9 Enterprise by a score of 27-7. Let's tell you about Oxford Lumber and Ace Hardware. College football begins tomorrow, and there is no better place to go than Oxford Lumber and Ace Hardware. You need a grill for tomorrow? They will put those grills together for you, and they will deliver it for you. Go see the folks pick out a great grill at Oxford Lumber and Ace Hardware. Not only grills, but they have everything that you need for anything to do with homes. They specialize in windows and doors. They're a locally owned source for all of your home improvement needs. Small project remodeling. Maybe you're building your dream home. They've got it all at Oxford Lumber and Ace Hardware. We'll be back with more of After the Game as we roll on a Football Friday night on Facebook and YouTube.
Hi, this is Jimmy Newman from Oxford Lumber. I've kicked off many times in my football days, and that's an exciting play. When you're ready to kick off your next building or remodeling project, let us make sure you start your project off right, with the right material at the right price so you can score big and get the job done. Stop by and see our local guys with over 60 years of experience serving you. Come by any one of our 4 locations in Oxford, Talladega, Jacksonville, or Roanoke. And don't forget about our low price guarantee.
In Alabama, school spirit is in the air on Friday nights. At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're giving our customers the opportunity to show their school spirit every day with our new Spirit debit card. We've designed a unique card for every Calhoun County school that includes the school's logo. So every time you use the card, you're showing your school spirit. Come in and get your school spirit debit card today. We've got spirit at F&M Bank. Service, solutions, and strength. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
I can't imagine life without Gwen, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Gwen's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today. Anniston Orthopedics continues to provide a legacy of outstanding sports injury care on and off the field, keeping our players in the game. Anniston Orthopedics offers our Saturday morning sports injury clinic from 8 to 10 a.m. throughout the high school football season. Anniston Orthopedics also offers full-service physical therapy and occupational therapy departments. To learn more, visit our website at www.annistonortho.com. Anniston Orthopedics, located in the Tyler Center adjacent to RMC.
After the game rolling on a football Friday night, Class 4A Region 4. Want to look at what happened there tonight. Cherokee County wins. Etowah wins. Also tonight, Aniana wins. They had a big win over Hanceville. So basically right now, Coach Short, as you joined me for this segment right here, at the beginning of the season, we thought the cream of this region would be those three teams, Cherokee County, Etowah, and Aniana. And right now, those are the three teams that are 1-0 in region play, and two of those teams are undefeated overall in Aniana and Cherokee County. And by the way, Coach, next Friday night, Gilbert Stadium in Aniana, Cherokee County, and the Aniana Redskins. That might be, Etowah is going to have a lot to say about that, but that is going to be a huge game in deciding the pecking order and the final standings when we look at this in November.
Yeah, it's going to, but if anybody would ask me, who would you pick if I had to pick today? And I know you've picked Cherokee County. and they're a real good football team. But until somebody changes it, Aniana's been there. You know, they've been there in the finals last year. Got a lot of guys that have been there. They've won for years. So they know how to do that. Until somebody changes my mind, Aniana's the team that's going to be at the top of that region. Now, maybe talent-wise, it might be Cherokee County or Etowah. You know, Etowah their one loss was to a 6A school. So, you know, to me, that ball game next week, you know, all three of them, it's just going to be 1, 2, 3 right there. But that ball game next week has a lot to do with who could be first for sure.
And I'll tell you, Coach, I wouldn't be surprised if it's somewhere down the road if Cherokee County and Aniana didn't play twice. We've talked about teams playing twice. It happens a lot of times in high school football in the playoffs. That could very easily happen with Cherokee County, maybe Etowah in there, maybe Aniana. All those three as we kind of see the ratings, the standings actually move there. And that's going to be a monumental football game between Cherokee County and Aniana coming up next Friday night at Gilbert Stadium in Aniana. By the way, Aniana's got a new running back. His name is Fluff Bothwell. And Fluff last week, Coach, rushed for 336 yards in their non-region win over Dora.
How do you come up with the name Fluff?
He was anything but fluff last week with 336 yards.
Well, he fluffed up their defense. I know that for that many yards rushing. And to get that many yards rushing, it tells me that their offensive line is doing a job too. I don't care who you're blocking. To come up with 300-plus yards rushing, you got to be able to block somebody. And again, that's why I think Aniana has a chance. Plus, Aniana's played at home. But can you understand, do you realize the number of big games we're having early in the season? The big games that could be region championship type games real early in the year.
And it's not planned that way. Folks that don't understand how this works, they have a meeting way back when they have the reclassification back last December is when these schedules are made. And they draw for these positions. So sometimes it works out that the two best teams maybe play in week 9, but sometimes they play in week 1 of region play. That's just kind of the way it works out. And we're seeing that kind of manifest itself this year. As we talk about offense, let's talk about our coach of the week, our assistant coach of the week, our Johnson's Giant Foods assistant coach of the week. And this week it is the offensive coordinator of the Walter Wellborn Panthers, Judge Smith. That's the son of the head coach, Jess Smith. You see the two coaches right there side by side in that picture. Wellborn had an open date tonight, by the way, if you're wondering why we haven't heard a Wellborn score. Well, Smith is the offensive coordinator. He calls the plays for the Panthers. He's been on staff at Wellborn for 5 years. He's a Wellborn graduate, played quarterback there for his dad, graduate of Jacksonville State. They are coming off a 45-point offensive performance. Last week they put 45 on the board in a 45-7 win on the road on the Creek Bank at rival Ohatchee. And Coach Smith will receive a $25 gift card courtesy of Johnson's Giant Food. And Johnson's has locations downtown Gadsden, East Gadsden, and Attala, Coldwater, and in Jacksonville. And let me tell you, they make your football season better. Because maybe you want to grill, Maybe you want to tailgate. You got to go visit Johnson's. Their meat selection, that's where I buy all mine. I'll tell you that right now. And I love their deli. They have fried chicken, chicken fingers, chicken salad, all kinds of salads and breads, the chips, the dips, the soft drinks, the cold beverages, and the meats to throw on the grill. They've got you covered. Johnson's Giant Food, 5 locations here in East Alabama, as we said, 2 in Gadsden, 1 in Attala, 1 in Coldwater, and 1 in Jacksonville. We'll be back with more of After the Game in just a moment.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
Cash back. Plain and simple. That's what you'll get on the Noble Bank Cash Back account. No tricks, no gimmicky names, just free accounts that pay you cash back. If unlimited transactions, fraud protection, and refunds on ATM withdrawal fees nationwide sounds like your kind of banking, visit us at noblebank.com and learn more about the Noble Cash Back account. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank and Trust. Noblebank.com. Member FDIC.
Are you ready for some football? Come in all month long and take a test drive at Team 1 Chevrolet and have a chance to win an Alabama, Auburn tailgate, or the ultimate tailgate package. Log on to ChevroletofGadsden.com for complete details. Chevrolet of Gadsden, where everyone's a winner. Someone's going to win an Alabama tailgate, someone's going to win an Auburn tailgate, and somebody's going to win the ultimate grand prize, including grill, generator, and big screen TV. Chevrolet of Gadsden, home of the best people, the best service, period.
Your home is a reflection of you, whether that's classic, farm style, or something unique. We at Ted's Carpet and Floor understand that, and we'll help you through the selection, finance, and installation process. We have an extensive selection of designer tiles, carpet, laminate, and hardwood. Let us help you choose the perfect granite or quartz to customize your kitchen or bathroom. We offer free in-home measurements, estimates, and design consultations. Ted's Carpet and Floor, your style, our passion.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You will be glad you did.
After the game rolling on, region rundown, we jump to Class 6A tonight. I tell you, Center Point, this is a team to look out for. They had a huge win last night over Huffman. Clay Chalkville, no problem with Pell City. Oxford tonight, no problem with Shades Valley. Pinson Valley had an open date, and they'll be back in action next week. But guys, this region right here again, I think the surprise team right here, moving up from 5A, they're actually the smallest team in the state in Class 6A is Center Point.
So most certainly got a nice win and obviously staying undefeated on the season. And I'll tell you what, they're a team that, in my opinion, they're getting better as the season goes along. They beat Allisville 48-18 last week, then opened up region play with a really nice win over Huffman, who's not necessarily a rival, but I think all of those teams that are in and around the Birmingham area are kind of quasi-rivals, especially when they share the same region.
Well, Center Point's a well-coached football team, and they've always been known sometimes to start slow, but they get better and better as the year goes along. So, we've just about got them matched the way I look seeing the playoffs.
And guys, yeah. I may be incorrect on this, but I believe we get Clay Chalkville and Pinson Valley next week.
That'd be all. I think
incredible. I think that's what we get. 6A Region 8. Let's go to that region. That's the region that has Gadsden City in it. And I told people, Gadsden City played Carrollton and Hewitt-Trussell. That's two of the best teams in the South, right. Not just around here. That Gadsden City would be a team that I think probably is going to win this region. And tonight they had no problems with Buckhorn winning that game 31-7. Fort Payne is undefeated. That's a good football team right there. And then, of course, last night we had Hazel Green. They were a winner over Lee of Huntsville. So I really think it might wind up being the two teams on the east side geographically of that region. Coach, it might be Gadsden City and Fort Payne.
Well, that's by looking at the bracket there. That's what I think. Gadsden City and Fort Payne. I think what that game comes down to, and you could probably tell me, where's that game played at?
That game is going to be played, I believe, at Gadsden City.
At Gadsden City. Well, that gives them the advantage. I know Fort Payne's been there and done that and played a lot of games, and they're a good football team. I've actually called games up there before. They'll be a very physical team. Don't know if they have it this year, but they have always got a kicker. I mean, they've always had a great kicker.
Well, they had some McPherson's come through there. So,
yes.
Yeah.
So you know they got another
one. Three of those, I guess, have come through. 3 or 4 of those.
3 NFL guys.
Right.
So, and they've had them. So, and that could be an advantage. But I can see Gadsden City, when it's all said and done, being the region champions.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of angst about Gadsden City, not only because they lost to Carrollton and Hewitt-Trussville with the way that they lost, but there's a lot of teams that would lose by that score. Gadsden City is where they need to be finally in Class 6A for the first time ever for these next 2 years. And I think the Titans are going to make some noise in Class 6A. Speaking of 6A, Gerhard, we want to go back to this region. Oxford Yellow Jackets at home tonight. Now, Oxford had that loss to McAdory in the rain, got back on track last week. Sam Robertson, though, got hurt in that game.
Right.
Out maybe for the season, certainly going to be out for the next couple of months. But they got the win, coming back home, region play, Shades Valley, always a talented team at Lamar Field. Big crowd down there tonight. But Oxford apparently looked really good tonight, guys.
They most certainly did. Oxford and Shades Valley are two really proud programs. I mean, you go back into the 70s and 80s and 90s, and these are the teams that were really dominating parts of the state, trying to get back there. The Oxford Yellow Jackets over at Lamar Field. Let's go straight to those highlights over in Oxford. The Mounties and the Yellow Jackets. Oxford had a 24-13 lead at halftime when we got there. This is the opening kickoff of the third quarter. How about Amari Carroll? Just dancing his way through the wedge of the return team from the Mounties and from the Yellow Jackets, ended up getting big yardage, and they turned it into very quick points, guys. This is Mason Mims, Judd Sire, 60-yard touchdown connection, really quick off the bat. That is now a 31-13 lead for the Oxford Yellow Jackets early on. But Shades Valley does get a little offense going here. Jaique Daniel on the catch from Steve Brown, and he picks up 14 yards. However, that drive stalls. Oxford now back on offense. This is a 4th down play. They decided to go for it. Really nice play from Mims to Demaius Wilson. They get to pick up the first down there. And then the very next play, the same 2 hook up once again. Mims, Wilson for the touchdown. And that's how they cap it off as the Oxford Yellow Jackets leading it 38-13 at that point. They don't give up another one. They tack on another one, 45-13, your final score. So Shades Valley getting the region the region slate off to a really strong start with a very impressive win. Tight early, and they exploded late.
Oxford throwing a lot of highlights up in our Red Threads highlights. We mentioned tomorrow the beginning of college football. If you're a Jack State fan, I was in Red Threads today on the square in Jacksonville, and there were people coming in. Yeah. They're getting ready for game. You could tell there was a game tomorrow in town, home opener for the Jacksonville State Gamecocks.
Right.
And you could tell that they were coming in there to look for that merchandise. I'm telling you, there is no place better than you can go than on the square in Jacksonville than Red Threads to find your Jacksonville State merchandise. They have phenomenal Jack State merchandise, anything you want in there. There were guys in there. They were getting ready for the game tomorrow, powered by O-brand Red Threads, the place to be. And they also have a great website. They do all kinds of things. They do screen printing. They make our Team of the Week shirts, our Muscle Team shirts for us here at High School Football Alabama after the game. So Red Threads, check them out tomorrow if you're going to the Jack State game before or after the game on the square in Jacksonville. Bumps and bruises. Y'all mentioned that earlier, didn't you? There were some guys
every week.
Yeah, Anniston Orthopedics. If you got those bumps and bruises, Coach Smith was talking about, hey, we got some guys here that are kind of banged up a little bit. Anniston Orthopedics, sports medicine and physical therapy. They have their sports medicine clinic coming up at 8 a.m. in the morning, less than 8 hours away, guys. That's the 3rd floor of the Tyler Center in Anniston. If you're a volleyball player, or maybe you're cross country, we got all those going on, or a football player, and you got some ailments, you're not sure what's going on, check out the sports medicine clinic at Anniston Orthopedics on the 3rd floor of the Tyler Center 8 a.m. tomorrow and every Saturday. And I love, we're rolling chairs in and out. We got chairs going. We got all kinds of things happening. We got wheels, some with wheels, some not with wheels. We wouldn't be able to do all of this, the musical chairs that we're doing, guys, without Crawford Office Supplies. These great. Yeah. These are some great chairs they supply for us.
Exactly, and the fact that we sit here for a long time. We talk ball. We love it.
Yeah.
You love the comfort of it and the mobility of it. It's fantastic.
I need a few myself. I could put one of these in my shooting house where I could go deer hunting with.
CrawfordOfficeSupply.com, 237-3310, located on South Layton Avenue in Anniston, right off of Quintard Avenue. They've got a showroom down there with these kind of chairs and anything else you need as far as furniture, supplies, and janitorial. Time for our next Team 1 Automotive Chevrolet of Gadsden Extra Point. Next Fridays, we've been talking about it, Cherokee County Aniana game at Gilbert Stadium in Aniana. Will be the 24th meeting of the two schools. The series right now deadlocked 11-1. Aniana's taken the last two games in 2018 and 19. Previous to that, the Warriors had won 5 straight contests, Coach, against the Redskins. Aniana has won more games than any team in AHSAA history. A lot of tradition on the field in Aniana in Blount County next Friday night.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
In Alabama, school spirit is in the air on Friday nights. At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're giving our customers the opportunity to show their school spirit every day with our new Spirit debit card. We've designed a unique card for every Calhoun County school that includes the school's logo. So every time you use the card, you're showing your school spirit. Come in and get your school spirit debit card today. We've got spirit at F&M Bank. Service, solutions, and strength. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
As a social worker, my cousin devotes her career to helping others. But when she was diagnosed with cancer, she was the one who needed help. She needed a hospital with an accredited cancer program and the latest in technology and care options. Plus, a compassionate team of doctors, nurses, and counselors with treatments that fit her schedule. So where did she find all that?
Right here at RMC.
When you shop at Pee Wee Turner Motors, you will be a winner. As lifelong supporters of East Alabama athletics, we at Pee Wee Turner Motors would like to invite you to check out our quality inventory of trucks, cars, and SUVs at PeeWeeTurnerMotors.net. We always guarantee credit approval and look forward to serving you and your family at Pee Wee Turner Motors on Quintard Avenue, Anniston.
Anniston Orthopedics continues to provide a legacy of outstanding sports injury care on and off the field, keeping our players in the game. Anniston Orthopedics offers our Saturday morning sports injury clinic from 8 to 10 a.m. throughout the high school football season. Anniston Orthopedics also offers full-service physical therapy and occupational therapy departments. To learn more, visit our website at www.annistonortho.com. Anniston Orthopedics, located in the Tyler Center adjacent to RMC.
Class 2A Region 4 as we continue with our region rundown. And tonight, B.B. Comer wins again. They are now 2-1. I still think they're going to make a big run in Class 2A this year. Ranburn, a winner. And then we've got, they won big at Fayetteville tonight. Then you've also got in there Isabella and Thorsby. Isabella won that game against Thorsby tonight. Central Coosa lost. Woodland lost tonight. So this region right now, I really think still, now Isabella and Thorsby will have something to say about this, but I still think, even though they lost that first game to Dadeville, guys, I still think B.B. Comer's the class of this region.
I do too. And B.B. Comer, after losing that game, they've gone on to outscore their opponents 83-24 over the last 2 games. They picked up a big region win, but a nice test next week against Ranburne. And I think that one will be really interesting, as I got a chance to see Ranburne in the very first week of the season against White Plains. Then Ranburne also picked up a strong win as well. So that next week matchup with BB Comer and Ranburne I think is really interesting. But the way that Coach Foster's team got up off the turf after that week 0 loss to Dadeville, it really shows their character.
It does, and I know BB Comer, maybe it just took them, maybe they've heard all summer long about how good they're going to be.
Right.
And it took a game to knock them back down a notch, so now they can go do their job. But I will be interested next week in watching a young Ranburne team, but they've got some very good offensive linemen. Kid is going to the Air Force, Air Force Academy. That means he's very smart too.
Right.
Big kid.
Big guy, yeah.
I can see Ranburne trying to get behind him and keeping the game close into the fourth quarter. And that game will have playoff implications. I'm not saying region championship, but I think it's a game that Ranburne needs to win to be able to get into the playoffs. I think it's a real big game.
Look out for Vincent in this region as well. Good football team. I'll tell you, BB Comer, it's hard to say that a team is in a trap game in their first game of the year, but Dadeville really was, because in the Jamboree game, BB Comer had beaten Sylacauga. If you live in that part of the country, you don't have to say anything else of what that meant to the folks at BB Comer. They went into Dadeville after that high of beating Sylacauga, even though that was only a Jamboree game. But I think they've come off that, and now BB Comer may be the most dangerous team. I think they were last year the most dangerous team in Class 2A. Class 2A Region 6 as we bring it to the north. And this region, I'll tell you a team that I'm looking out for here. Southeastern is good. Had a big win against Gaston tonight. The West End Patriots. They dominated. They had the 3-touchdown win over Pleasant Valley tonight. Derek Sewell has got West End playing very well. That's a team to watch over there in 2A Region 6.
Most certainly. I got a chance to talk to him during the Etowah County Media Day, and he was really high on this team. And we're now starting to see why he was high on this team as they continue with an undefeated season so far, and that first win in the region. This is the region we kept talking about, how Southeastern made a strong run last year. Cleveland made it to the state championship game a season ago. And we expected Gaston to make some improvements this past year. And obviously Pleasant Valley dropping down. We thought from 3A, we thought the Raiders would be really strong. But I'll tell you what, those Patriots of West End, they're really strong. I think to be one of the top 4 teams in this region, you would have had to earn it, because there's a really strong gauntlet here of teams to make up 2A Region 6.
West End was already trending in the right direction, and Coach got there and added some of his things to it. The weight room is pretty much a brand new weight room, so now they're getting stronger. They've did a lot of things to their facilities, so I guess what they're doing is they're putting more into the program.
Right.
And now that's starting to show up in their wins and losses.
Yeah, and you have to stay until further notice, because they went to the state championship last year. You have to put Cleveland until somebody beats them. I think you have to consider them still the favorite in 2A Region 6. Okay, I'm going to show you how much respect I think I have for BB Comer coming up, because it's time for our awards to remember East Alabama Top 10 tonight. So let's jump into that and look. It's been a crazy night here, so you can disagree here. Number 10, Coach, I'm following you right here.
Hey.
Randolph County at number 10. They're 2-0. I've been impressed, and I'll be honest with you, before the season started, I didn't think they'd be anywhere close to this, but they're at number 10. Number 9, BB Comer. Got the Tigers in there, bouncing back nicely over the last couple of weeks. Number 8, Oxford Yellow Jackets, 2 in a row, and they've been very impressive wins, I think, at number 8. Number 7, Spring Garden. They were up high in the top 5, shut out tonight. I think, though, they might not lose another one.
Right.
They very easily could run the table. We'll see. Number 6 in the East Alabama top 10, Jacksonville Golden Eagles. Again, they lost, but they lost to, well, a team we'll see way up here in just a second. Number 6, Jacksonville. Number 5, the Piedmont Bulldogs, starting to make that climb up this year with that win tonight over Sylvania. Number 4, Moody, probably made the biggest jump in our East Alabama top 10, and rightfully so, beating Alexandria. Number 3, Cherokee County, again, making a big jump, had a huge win against a Good Hope team. Number 2, the Anniston Bulldogs, real impressive at Munford tonight. And number 1, Hanley. Think about this game coming up in just a few weeks.
Yeah, that's going to be a monster game, and obviously Anniston has Jacksonville before that matchup. I really like the way that you've segmented this out. Last week, After Piedmont lost to Cherokee County, you didn't drop them out of the top 10. I really like that. And the same thing this week with Jacksonville and Spring Garden. They lost, but they lost to quality opponents. And so keeping them in the top 10, I think was really good.
Hey, man, that's the way I would pick it. Man, these are 10 playoff teams right here.
Yes.
And don't be surprised, somewhere out of these 10, one of them in December may be holding that trophy up.
Absolutely. I think we got a couple of teams that can make that run. And I'll just tell you right now, watch out for this bunch right here.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Randolph County, watch out for that bunch right there in Class 3A Region 4. I tell you, I told you guys before I need a new car badly. It'll be a used car.
I don't know how you got here.
It's amazing. The jalopy keeps on running, though. And sooner or later, I'm going to have to visit Pee Wee Turner Motors on South Quintard Avenue in Anniston. They have been for so many years in East Alabama, over 50 years in the car business. They are the area's oldest independent dealer. That means they're doing something right. Great selection of used cars, pickups, and SUVs. Late model warranties all come with a warranty. Check out their inventory on the lot, South Quintard Avenue in Anniston, or go to peeweeturnermotors.net, 512 South Quintard Avenue in Anniston. We still got Team of the Week and a lot more coming up as we roll on After the Game on a football Friday night.
Are you ready for some football? Come in all month long and take a test drive at Team 1 Chevrolet and have a chance to win an Alabama, Auburn tailgate, or the ultimate tailgate package. Log on to ChevroletofGadsden.com for complete details. Chevrolet of Gadsden, where everyone's a winner. Someone's going to win an Alabama tailgate, someone's going to win an Auburn tailgate, and somebody's going to win the ultimate grand prize, including grill, generator, and big screen TV. Chevrolet of Gadsden, home of the best people, the best service, period.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Cash back. Plain and simple. That's what you'll get on the Noble Bank Cash Back account. No tricks, no gimmicky names, just free accounts that pay you cash back. If unlimited transactions, fraud protection, and refunds on ATM withdrawal fees nationwide sounds like your kind of banking, visit us at noblebank.com and learn more about the Noble Cash Back account. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank and Trust. Noblebank.com. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Jimmy Newman from Oxford Lumber. I've kicked off many times in my football days, and that's an exciting play. When you're ready to kick off your next building or remodeling project, let us make sure you start your project off right, with the right material at the right price so you can score big and get the job done. Stop by and see our local guys with over 60 years of experience serving you. Come by any one of our 4 locations in Oxford, Talladega, Jacksonville, Roanoke. And don't forget about our low price guarantee.
Your home is a reflection of you, whether that's classic, farm style, or something unique. We at Ted's Carpet and Floor understand that, and we'll help you through the selection, finance, and installation process. We have an extensive selection of designer tiles, carpet, laminate, and hardwood. Let us help you choose the perfect granite or quartz to customize your kitchen or bathroom. We offer free in-home measurements, estimates, and design consultations. Ted's Carpet and Floor, your style, our passion.
We bring the evening as we're getting down to the close of the show to Class 5A now, Class 5A Region 4. A lot of folks think that the game tonight down at Hot O'Brien Stadium in Tallahassee might have been the region title game between Central Clay County and Tallahassee, and Clay Central won that game really in dominating fashion against Mike Battle's junior team. 21-0 they led it. Tallahassee scored with 30 seconds to go into the game. Tommy Wood was telling me about that. Beauregard tonight beat Valley, which was a little bit of a surprise there because Valley almost beat Hanley. And then you got last night Elmore County, who is 3-0, beating Sylacauga. Guys, what about it?
Well, when I first look at it, you got a very, very young Central Clay team, but you got a very, very experienced coaching staff. and they've been there. I mean, they've won, two state championships within the past 4 years, 5 years, so they've been there and done that. But tonight, Central Clay going to Tallahassee and beating it, because last year Tallahassee beat Central Clay.
Right.
Last year they did. So they're at their place. So now they're going down to Tallahassee and having to play there in Tallahassee, a veteran team. And tonight at Central Clay, Terry Heflin, the running back for Central Clay, had 32 carries for 237 yards rushing, 3 receiving for 42 yards. So he had 279 all-purpose yards to lead Central Clay, and that was a very big ball game for Danny Horn's Central Clay Volunteers.
Class 5A Region 6 now as we bring it northward. Some big games tonight. A big top 10 matchup between Alexandria and Moody, kind of highlighting things there. St. Clair County had an open date. Southside with a monster win over Lincoln tonight. Springville tonight taking on Leeds. Leeds had their way with them. But the big story continues to be the Moody Blue Devils. I think we got Moody at 2-1, but they're 3-0. And they are 3-0. And they beat a good Alexandria team tonight. Moody's kind of in, I think now, Leeds will have a lot to say about this, but I think right now Moody's in the driver's seat.
Yes, most certainly. They were really, really talented ball club, and obviously we joked a little while earlier with Coach Burns from Cleburne County having to face them, and they've improved their roster really quickly, and so it's a really solid football team. They've kind of lived up to the hype, so to speak, here in the early part of their season. They put up 40-plus in every game so far this year. Cleburne County, a big non-region game for them next week before jumping back in the region. But I was really impressed today with Southside. Really impressed today. Yeah. Lincoln, going into this game, they had dominated their first 2 opponents as well. So for Southside to get the win there after making some mistakes in the Hoaks Bluff game early on, they got the win. They made some mistakes though. They seem to have cleaned that up and got a big win today over the Golden Bears.
Well, what Southside had to do was clean up all the penalties they had the week before.
Right.
They've had 2 weeks of penalties, 18 penalties, 19 penalties. And I heard Coach talking in another show this week about the penalties they had, and they had to clean that up. So undoubtedly they got that cleaned up, because that was going to be the only way that they could beat Lincoln is clean up those penalties. And when it comes to Moody, my only question about Moody, they can score some points.
Right.
But are they going to be good enough defensively when they face a team that can score with them to be able to stop them? We don't know yet. So far they passed that test. But are they going to be good enough defensively? They got a lot of studs on offense.
Right.
But what are they going to be able to do defensively? And I think tonight Alexandria actually has some yards and did some things against them that may have exposed them defensively.
Right.
Our Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser. We've had some great folks in here tonight. We had Danny Shears, we had Steve Smith. We also had Joby Burns from Cleburne County in here tonight. Noble Bank and Trust, just fantastic folks there. And Noble Bank, let me just tell you, they have branches in Anniston, Oxford, Alexandria, Piedmont, Heflin, and at the Summit in Birmingham. You get a live person when you call. It's not a recording. Go to noblebank.com. They offer telephone and mobile banking 24/7. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank. And also, we want to thank the folks at RMC. They bring you the RMC Media Center right here at Parker Memorial Baptist Church on Quintard Avenue in Anniston. This is our RMC Media Center. RMC is doing a lot of great things as well. They have new primary care doctors at all of their family practice locations. They're now taking new patients in Oxford, Anniston, Jacksonville, and Roanoke. New doctors including Dr. Brooke Carroll, Dr. Trey Emerson, and Dr. Bridget Gibson. And we come to the night. It's time for our last extra point of the night coming up, as we'll have that coming up from the folks at Team 1 Automotive Chevrolet, Team 1 Chevrolet in Gadsden, right there on East Milligan Boulevard in Gadsden. Here's that final extra point of the night. Alabama School for the Deaf joins Pike Liberal Arts as the only 2 schools in the AHSAA not eligible for the state playoffs in 2022. The Silent Warriors elect not to participate in the playoffs to allow for play versus other schools for the deaf in surrounding states. Now, they have been in the playoffs before, but the last time ASD was playoff eligible was back in 1999. When we come back, we are going to announce who's getting the Tough Guy Trophy, who's getting the Anniston Orthopedics T-shirts, who is going to be our Ted's Carpet and Floor Team of the Week.
Anniston Orthopedics continues to provide a legacy of outstanding sports injury care on and off the field, keeping our players in the game. Anniston Orthopedics offers our Saturday morning sports injury clinic from 8 to 10 a.m. throughout the high school football season. Anniston Orthopedics also offers full-service physical therapy and occupational therapy departments. To learn more, visit our website at www.annistonortho.com. Anniston Orthopedics, located in the Tyler Center adjacent to RMC.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You will be glad you did.
There's a lot to think about when you're having a baby. Colors of the nursery, names, and most importantly, where to deliver.
We want a hospital that gives families a more personalized birthing experience.
With a compassionate team of doctors and nurses, and a hospital where my baby and I can instantly bond with all the comforts of home.
So where do we find all that?
Right here at RMC, the first designated baby-friendly hospital in Alabama.
Cash back. Plain and simple. That's what you'll get on the Noble Bank Cash Back account. No tricks, no gimmicky names, just free accounts that pay you cash back. If unlimited transactions, fraud protection, and refunds on ATM withdrawal fees nationwide sounds like your kind of banking, visit us at noblebank.com and learn more about the Noble Cash Back account. Welcome to personal banking. Welcome to Noble Bank and Trust. Noblebank.com. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Jimmy Newman from Oxford Lumber. I've kicked off many times in my football days, and that's an exciting play. When you're ready to kick off your next building or remodeling project, let us make sure you start your project off right, with the right material at the right price so you can score big and get the job done. Stop by and see our local guys with over 60 years of experience serving you. Come by any one of our 4 locations in Oxford, Talladega, Jacksonville, or Roanoke. And don't forget about our low price guarantee.
Awards to remember, bringing you the Tough Guy Trophy. Also awards to remember, providing our plaque for our Player of the Week, our Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Week. And they do so many other things. They are the premier awards provider in this part of the state of Alabama. I can tell you, working with them not only here at High School Football Alabama, but also with the Calhoun County Sports Hall of Fame. They provide all of our awards there and do a great job with that. Awards to remember just invested $100,000 in new screen printing equipment. AwardstoRemember.com. That's the place to go. You can also visit them out on Alabama Highway 144 in Ohatchee. And we want to remind you, during the week, connect with us on social media. There's a lot of information about guests that are coming on the show. We have the release of a lot of different things. There's a lot of stuff on there. If you will check us out on Facebook, High School Football Alabama, YouTube, High School Football Alabama. That's where you can watch the show. And you can also go to highschoolfootballalabama.com. And that'll be a place where you can always find out if you miss it late on these Friday nights. So it's where you can always know about our Ted's Carpet and Floor Team of the Week. So who's getting the awards to remember Tough Guy? Who is getting the Anniston Orthopedics t-shirt? For the first time ever, this is a new winner that's getting the Ted's Carpet and Floor Team of the Week. It is the Volunteers of Central of Clay County. They will be the team of the week. We are coming down Highway 9 to the Ashland-Wineville metro area to award Coach Danny Horn and the Vols with our team of the week presented by Ted's Carpet and Floor. That's going to wrap it up on this Football Friday night. For our entire hardworking team on this Football Friday night, have a very blessed weekend. This has been High School Football Alabama After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission.
Tigers will kick off